got a running back to his right. He's got 4 receivers. Milroe looking, throwing deep. He's got Ryan Williams caught. He's running down the sideline. Breaks a couple tackles. Running. Touchdown, Alabama. What a play. Touchdown, Alabama.
And here's the snap. Hands it to Audric Estime. And that is and should be a touchdown. Here we go. Bryson Barnes has got his back behind him. It is Jaquindon Jackson. Here's the snap. Bryson Barnes looking deep. He's got a man. It's caught! He's got touchdown early. All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome. It is college football here on Saber Broadcast Network. I'm Cooper Naylor. So glad to have Derek Sanford here with us tonight to help give us an idea of what we can expect from Auburn this season, as he is our Auburn expert. And so, Derek, how are you?
I'm doing real good today, Cooper. I'm so hyped for this game and see what Jackson Arnold can do for us, and how good our running back corps is going to be, because I'm still a little uncertain about that after losing Jarquez Hunter to the NFL.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Damari Alston, of course, will be the main running back this season for the Auburn Tigers, which I just want to get your opinion on him, because I know last year we got to see a little bit of him. What is your expectations for Alston this season?
I don't know much about Alston if he has taken out his turnovers, because every big play, it seemed like last year, he almost ended in a fumble. So if he took out those fumbles this year and takes them out, I think he's going to be a legit running back. And also, I do not see the Auburn Tigers being just a one running back team. I feel like we're going to have 2 or 3 playing this throughout the full season.
All righty. And of course, Auburn's wide receivers are just, it's crazy to look at when you got Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton.
Yeah, I think Eric Singleton and Cam Coleman can be the best duo in college football this year. And that's just my take. If we have a decent quarterback that can get the ball within space to him, I think they can make the plays and get them where they need to go, with Cam Coleman being the second most, tied with the second most touchdowns last season with 8 touchdowns, I believe.
And so when we look at Baylor, who is Auburn's opposition, they're projected to be one of the top 3 teams of the Big 12. The Bears, of course, their run game is not something they're normally known for, but last season Baylor had an incredible run game. And so this season, they're highly anticipated to have an outstanding unit there in the run game. And of course, they have multiple wide receivers for Sawyer Robertson to get the ball out with. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do. And so something that we've looked at is that, when you look at the weakness Auburn has, it's the linebackers. What do you think about that?
I haven't kept up much with the linebackers that much, but the way it sounds like what's going on in the practices, it sounds like defense is dominating, and we're doing real good on the defense. And to answer your question, Colton, who I think is faster, Cam Coleman or Ryan Williams, I cannot answer that. I don't really know, but I think Cam Coleman, I think he could be a better wide receiver. I think Cam Coleman is super underrated than he should be.
All right, so the game is about ready to kick off. They're talking about Alex McPherson, who is the kicker for Auburn, who he's had some health issues with. I think he's he's been struggling with his weight and stuff. And so it's inspiring to see that he is back out on he continues to be out there on the field for Auburn and able to play at a high level.
Yeah, he had some gastrointestinal, I believe it was, infection or something like that, which made it where he got down to 110 pounds, lost over 60 pounds, I believe. But now he's back to 170, 175 pounds. So if he's good, I think. Like last year, we had a terrible kicking corpse. This year, I think if he stays healthy, we actually might win a few more of those games that we lost last year.
All right, here we go. It is kickoff in Waco, Texas. Baylor will get the ball to begin the game, and we are off. And that one will go into the end zone for a touchback. So it'll be Baylor and Sawyer Robertson who will begin the game for Baylor.
Yeah, but a key part for Auburn's defense against Sawyer Robertson will be if they can. I think he might have been a little bit of a running quarterback, but if they can keep him from getting deep passes, I think he can. We can. If we can keep him under control, we can do good.
All right, Sawyer Robertson last season, a 64% completion percentage quarterback. He was tied second most yards in the Big 12 last season per game. So here's Sawyer Robertson looking out wide, and that one will be thrown to his running back, who is going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 1 yard. And so, nice stop there by Auburn to begin this ball game.
Yeah, and I won't be doing just letting the chat, the people know I'm behind Cooper, just where I will be behind and let y'all know where y'all are misunderstanding.
Incomplete pass there for Robertson, be 3rd and 11. And like we were talking about, Keldrick Falk, the defensive tackle, going to be huge this season for the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah, I think Keldrick Falk. They're saying that it's going to be it can be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft this year, and I just saw that last incompletion, and it looked like Auburn almost had a interception. But Colton, yes, the helmets are tough, but the jerseys look terrible. And there's a false start by Baylor.
Yep. So it's going to be
second.
3rd, I believe. Yeah, 3rd and 16 yards to go.
3rd and 16 for 31 seconds into the game, and that was false start was against number 72 Pierce of Baylor's offensive line.
And there is the wide receiver Trigg for Baylor. He will get the first down on that 16-yard completion.
And that's where Auburn needs to hold off is don't let them get. Actually, I think he might have. I didn't see the line of scrimmage, the 16-yard, but it looked like he might have been short, but I guess I missed.
They're going to review this and see if he got there or not.
Yeah, it looked like to me live action. It looked like he was really close to it, and because I believe the first down marker was at the 40, I think he actually was a yard short. So we'll see.
So, of course, the receiver. Just looking at my receiver list here. And I will say this, folks, just as a warning, sometimes whenever you like at the beginning of the season, it's harder to figure out the full entire roster because sometimes online you won't get like a full roster whenever you get ready to do these games. So there's going to be guys that we may call their name that we don't have on, like I don't have on my list. So let's see what this is going to be. Half yard short. It's going to be 4th down. And now we'll see, does Dave Aranda and Baylor get very bold here and go for this, or do they just punt this away? We will see.
I think it's too early to be going for it. I'm an Auburn fan, but if I was them, I would not take the chance, but we'll see.
Of course, this is the 7th year for Dave Aranda at Baylor. He got a lot of praise for it was an okay defense he had there at LSU when he got hired to Baylor.
Yeah, his overall record.
And that's going to be a 1st down for Baylor.
Yeah, they went for it, and Auburn. It's hard to get a stop whenever it's only a yard, but and Baylor coach David Arana, whatever it is 31-30. But Auburn, I saw this earlier that they are 3-0 whenever they start out in the state of Texas. So that's some interesting stat. And Colton, thank you for telling us that Colorado just scored a touchdown.
Of course, on this play, Robertson lost a yard, but the center, he
just
took a
collapsed. Oh man, and bleeding all down his face, lost his helmet. I'm surprised they're showing all this on live TV.
That's going to be like about the 3rd and 2 right there for Baylor. That right there I said number 2, but they're going to go quick. It's going to be 3rd and 1 now. Robertson trying to get his play called.
Auburn's defense has to do better whenever they have these long downs. They can't let them get this early.
Here we go. Robertson with a little pitch to the running back, Washington, who's got a 1st down and a lot more down to about the 36-yard line on Auburn's side of the field. And Baylor is really cooking here early on this drive.
I'm just about to see it. Oh, man, we almost had him in the backfield. But we got to wrap up whenever we have them. We can't just try to body into them.
They said last year Bryson Washington had the most rushing yards in school history at Baylor. As here's Robertson looking to throw, got some pressure, but then he gets rid of it, and it sails out of bounds as he was looking for his receiver, and that was Michael Trigg.
Just now getting the 1st down. Oh, man. Almost had a stack. Oh, man. And after that 1st down, it looked like Sawyer Robertson almost was a little shaken up. Just something to keep an eye on.
So here we go. Robertson, handoff to his running back, who's going to get around the edge and getting around some tackles down to about the 19-yard line. A nice run right there by Baylor.
Auburn's defense has to Baylor's doing a good job of going back and forth, but we can't let that happen, going right up the middle and stuff. So Auburn defense has to do a better job than what they are doing now.
And there's a run back to about the line of scrimmage. That was the last 2 runs of our Caden Knighton. He's a freshman for Baylor who got the carries.
Yeah, that last play, last defensive stop on second down was a really good job by Auburn. Didn't let them get anywhere, but we'll see what happens the next down.
And the same result there. Auburn stops Cade Knighton at about the line of scrimmage, which is going to be about all that she wrote on that one.
Yeah, Auburn, they're getting pressure on the quarterback with 4 men. So if we can keep that up and maybe even throw one more person in there and get to the quarterback and get him uneasy, we will have Baylor will have a hard time.
And that is a incomplete pass looking for Bryson Washington. So Baylor will be forced to have to kick a field goal here early. And I want to ask you, wouldn't you agree with me that that's a win to force a field goal here with the way that this drive was going?
Yes, that was a big win right there. Auburn's last on that third down, they did get a lot of pressure, and that's what we need to keep up doing. But the position we were in and way Baylor was moving, that is a very good stop for Auburn, and we'll see what if we can capitalize on offense after they get it. And yep.
And Baylor knocks that field goal right through. 3-0 Baylor here early. And so, of course, after the kickoff, Jackson Arnold and the Auburn Tigers offense will come out. So, the game is at a commercial break now after that made field goal. You were talking about Auburn's defense. What do you expect to see from this offense right here?
I think the first play we will get is should be a run, but I don't know if Hugh Freeze will want to come out fast, seeing what he can do. But I think Auburn can do if we can if we can get our defense going better than they did that first time, because that last part of the drive was showed promise. So if we can keep that up and our offense can do better, can be better than last year and actually capitalize whenever our defense gets stops, we will be way better, because that's what happened last year is we couldn't score whenever our defense gave us the go aheads.
Alrighty. All right, an update on what's going on around the country while we have a chance. Illinois leads Western Illinois 14-0 as Illinois will start with another possession. Colorado has the football right now up 7-0 on Georgia Tech, and App State leads 7-3 with the football with 2 minutes to go against Charlotte 7-3. As what a nice pass from App State's quarterback to get a first down, as that'll probably be their last play before the 2-minute timeout.
And here's some stats, leading stats from that last drive of Baylor. Sorry, Robertson ended with 24 passing yards. Washington ended up with 21 rushing yards, and Michael Trigg, I believe, the tight end for Baylor, had one reception for 15 yards, and Auburn had one sack from Woodyard Jr. and 2 tackles, and that is an assessment of the last drive.
All righty. And we are, and it looks like on my side, they're back from commercial break. They're showing where, is this, say, 1976 Baylor and Auburn played, where Baylor won 15-14?
Yeah, Baylor and Auburn has not played since 1976. And if you want to, Cooper, you can go ahead and ask the question that I provided if you want to.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you had that. That was...
I believe I can remember it. The question is, how many times has Auburn and Baylor separately been ranked number one in the country? And that's the question. I'll repeat it. Auburn, how many times has Auburn and Baylor been ranked number one in the college football country?
All right, I got it. I think I got the right question you have on here. So here we go. Jackson Arnold, of course, is now the starter at Auburn, as they show. He transferred officially December 14th of 2024. And here we go. He's fixing to take his first snap as the starting quarterback of the Auburn Tigers. He's got a running back to the left of him, and he will hand it off, and that'll go right to about the line of scrimmage for no gain, as that looks like that was Alston who took the handoff.
Yes, that was Damari Alston, the running back from Auburn.
Auburn back to the line quickly. One receiver up to the left of Jackson Arnold. He's got three receivers to his right. He's got Alston, it looks like, to the right of him. Arnold's going to throw it. This one is incomplete, as he was looking for Cam Coleman just right through the hands.
I'm just now getting to the play. And Colton, Auburn, Oklahoma fan, has told us that if he played like he played last year, that he played at Oklahoma, he will be good, because Oklahoma's offensive line is no good.
So here we go. Arnold had to step up in the pocket, and he has to go down. And that's going to force a 3 and out.
Auburn's offense has to do better than that. One pass that he got off towards Cam Coleman was a little head. If that was one step closer to Cam Coleman would have reeled it in and could have had a first down. But Auburn should punt it here, and Baylor will receive it, and maybe our defense can get a stop.
Yep. I mean, I think Auburn, like you said, it felt like they were playing fast, and it didn't feel like they were in sync on that drive. Maybe some like early season jitters and all this, but we'll see what their defense can do on this next Baylor possession.
Yeah, but if Auburn can, I think Auburn did press that one way too much. Tried to go too fast. Need to calm down and get going slowly, and not rush anything. But Baylor, they did a good defensive job, but maybe we can get loose and going on offense on the next drive.
Yep, we'll see what they can do as the game is in commercial break. Let's take a short commercial break, folks, and we'll come back to more of the action. And so we'll be right back after this commercial break. All right, welcome back, everybody. And RG3 is going to hit some of his keys to the game, which is kind of interesting. But here we go. Sawyer Robertson will hand it off to the running back, who gets back to the line of scrimmage as Bryson Washington.
Yeah, but sorry, oh man, I didn't forget his name. Robert RG3 said all Baylor needs to do is keep in track tags the three of our wide receivers: Horatio Fields, Cam Coleman, and Eric Singleton Jr. And it's
Here's a
second and
long
10.
pass that is caught, running down the sideline and down to about the 6 or 7 yard line as Baylor gets a big play right there.
Can't let that happen as I'm just seeing it, but the player just got beat and can't let it happen. And they got down to the 7 yard line, it looks like. First and goal.
So Cole Wilson's the one who caught the ball, as there's a run to about the 5 yard line for Baylor.
Oh, they called him down at the 8, but as you said, he got a 2 yard carry, so it's to the 6 yard line on second and goal.
And Jake Spavital, he is the offensive coordinator and the quarterback's coach. If you know the name, he was the head coach at Texas State, I believe, last season. And Texas State had a really nice season, and he's a really good coach. So makes it a really interesting matchup here, as here's going to be the carry for Washington, who's going to get down to about the 2 yard line. So it's going to be third and goal for the Baylor Bears.
And Sawyer Robertson is 4 of 7 with 81 yards of passing. Just a key fact.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll say this. I really like what I'm seeing from Sawyer Robertson. He seems like he's a very mobile quarterback, and he can really put the ball where it needs to be at the right time. So I really like what I'm seeing here early from Robertson, as he gets his tight end in motion.
Yeah, it's third and goal at the 3 yard line, but Auburn's defense, every time they get there, he just has the ball out by then. So he's getting the ball out fast, but we have to stop him and slow him down a little bit.
As that carry went for no gain at all, it's a Baylor's going to go for it here on fourth down.
And if Auburn can get the stop here, that'll be a big momentum swing. But we do need to not let them get to real close to the goal line, because if we get too close to the goal line, we have the potential safety or fumble touchdown for Baylor. So have to be careful. Fourth and goal at the 3.5 yard line.
And that is incomplete, as Robertson looked for the end zone, incomplete, looking for Michael Trigg, his tight end. Auburn comes away not allowing any points, and 6:27 to go in the first quarter of this game.
And that's Auburn's number one, Champ Anthony, with the good defensive block there on the fourth and goal pass.
So it's a good stop there for Auburn. They desperately needed that. I mean, I'll say this. If Auburn goes down 10-0 right there, that would have been
a big game changer.
I don't know. Big game changer. I'm not saying it's insurmountable, but with the way this game is going here early, Auburn needed that. They needed to get a stop. And now, even though you're starting at a really tough position, Auburn, this is going to be a really good chance for them to go down and score.
Yeah, we just and a little backstory for the champ Anthony with that good stop last year against Oklahoma. He got a really good tackle against one of their wide receivers one play. In the very next play, he landed wrong after he jumped or something, and he broke his leg. So glad to see him back, and now he is the captain, one of the captains of the Auburn defense. So congrats to him to getting back into it and not giving up. And a few stats. Illinois is now up 20-0 against WIU with second and 8 at the WIU's 25-yard line.
All right. So I got the trivia question. I'll go ahead and put that on the screen. Hopefully it doesn't cut off the camera. Yeah, it did. All right.
It cut off the score bug a little bit, but just keep it up there for a little bit, and then we can put it back up there later once it's past the commercial break.
Yeah, we'll leave it on here until the game comes back and it really matters. But
how many viewers we have right now?
so right now it says we got 4 at the moment. So that's across both Facebook and YouTube. As far as Rumble, I'm not certain right now how many we have. So
For everyone watching, if y'all want to ask any questions for me or Cooper, be happy to do it. I'll be happy to answer them, and I believe Cooper won't care. And we're back to the football game now.
Yep. So Arnold is in his end zone, and he hands it off to Alston, who will get maybe 2, maybe 3 yards right there.
You don't need to know how.
All right, so I got Rumble pulled up on my phone to be able to watch our broadcast.
Okay, so Auburn is now on after that first down handoff on second down. We have made it to the 7-yard line, 7.5-yard line, with a run from Damari Alston, and he is another captain for the Auburn Tigers offense.
And here's a carry to the outside. First down for Auburn up to about the 19-yard line. That is the first carry of the night that's the first down, I shall say, for Auburn for their offense here tonight. So.
And that's what we're looking for in Austin is not to replace completely Jarquez Hunter, but last year he had problems with holding onto the ball, and on that carry he did a good job keeping a hold of it and got a good pickup for about 14 yards.
There's Arnold with a nice little 3-yard carry for him, which that's another thing to mention. I know I've mentioned it in the pregame show before, but Jackson Arnold is a really good mobile quarterback, and given the right system and given the right play call, he can really make some plays happen with his legs, and so he can be really special in that way.
Yeah, and that was about a 4-yard run for Arnold. So still 2nd and 7 with 5 minutes left in the first quarter.
And that pass is batted down by Jackson of Baylor. That'll make Arnold 0 of 2 throwing the football here early.
And Auburn has to get the running game out there. And that pass was to Cam Coleman. And we need to just next drive, I'm not saying this drive, but if we get the first down, we need to go for a deep pass to Cam Coleman and just try to get something going because Baylor just got Blair got his mid up there and blocked it good, but Auburn has to get going on offense.
And Arnold with a beautiful play, the ability to break some tackles and get the first down. Just another example why he is a very athletic quarterback and he can really make you pay if you can't tackle him.
Yeah, Jackson Arnold had a great run right there for about 10 yards. And to answer your question, Colton, about will this game last 5 hours, I hope not. But if Auburn pulls out the win for me, I won't care.
And Baylor has an injured player that is looks like Marshall. Yeah, Jackie Marshall is the one who got hurt for Baylor. It looks like they've gone to a commercial break.
Yeah, that was Marshall, number 0, I believe, for Baylor. Yes, and it looks like he's back up and ready to go. And as Hugh Freeze is talking to Jackson Arnold in the huddle, and they did go to a commercial break.
An update on what's going around the country. App State kicks the field goal and makes that. It is 17-3 App State at halftime. And App State will get the ball to begin the second half of that football game. So that game going to halftime being played in what they call the Dukes Mayo Kickoff Classic. 17-3 App State will go to the locker room with the lead, and they will be getting the football to begin the second half. So that is an update on what's going on around the country.
And for Illinois, WIU has the ball inside Illinois' 39-yard line, a 2nd and 10, trying to capitalize and get their first points on the board with 12 minutes left in the second quarter.
Is McDonald's really bringing back like the old Ronald McDonald and all whatever that gang was he had with him? Wow, that's crazy.
Let me go.
I guess for all the 90s kids, this is a dream come true.
And for Damari Austin, he has 15 yards over 3 carries, but Jackson Arnold has had a struggle, 0 for 2 for passing, and has 12 yards in after 2 runs. So that's a little bit of some stats so far on this drive.
It must just be ESPN, but Fox is not really, their commercial breaks are like 2.5 minutes. It's kind of nice. Short commercial breaks. I love it.
Yeah, I love these commercial breaks right here. The Auburn team has a total of 27 rushing yards, and Baylor has a total of 42 with 42 rushing yards and 81 yards passing, with Sawyer Robertson having a 50% catching receiving rate.
All right. A little over 4 minutes to go. Here's Arnold looking to throw, and he'll get his first completion of the night. He's got his receiver, and that is number 15. And I believe
that's Ratio Fields. Let's see.
Yeah.
Cannot remember. But
there's a quick carry, getting really close to that first down line, as that is Jeremiah Cobb who gets the carry for Auburn.
And that reception was from a wide receiver, Howard, number 15, for confirmation. And now I think they called that a first down, actually. So I believe it's Auburn
Yeah.
1st and 10.
And now flag.
False start by Auburn, they said. Colton has said. So
Yep.
can't get behind the line too much. Just can't let that happen on number 76 of Auburn's offensive line. We have to calm down. Got to start. I think we start off with a run, hopefully, getting a few yards back, and then we go to the air trying to get to the ball. Like I said, to Eric Singleton or Cam Coleman. But here we go.
And another false start for Auburn.
Can't, and we gotta. Oh man, on the complete other side of the line, just can't let that happen. 1st and 20 now. Has to get going good, and that was on number 65, Chaplin of Auburn's offensive line.
Here we go. Play clock running down. Here's Arnold going to hand it off to his running back Cobb, who will get about 3 or 4 yards. That's all. And it's going to be a second down for the Tigers. And Arnold looking to throw. And I believe that was caught. Wow. What a catch for Malcolm Simmons.
And Malcolm Simmons was actually in trouble last year, but a great catch right there. That was about a 20-yard gain for number 4, Malcolm Simmons. A great catch and a contested catch. Auburn on Baylor's 40-something yard line.
Of course, that was a great run right there by Jeremiah Cobb. As Auburn is going fast. As here's another carry for Cobb, and he'll get the first down on that 2nd and 1. So Auburn moving fast, but very efficient on this drive. I like what Auburn's doing here.
Yeah, Auburn, this drive is looking way more comfortable. It's a 10-play drive with 68 yards, spanning over 5 minutes. So Auburn needs to keep this up. They just got it to the 24-yard line of Baylor. So if Auburn can keep this up and do it, we can. I see Auburn could get a touchdown this drive if we don't blow it. But Jackson Arnold is 2 of 4 with 33.
Look at this run. Arnold's going to walk into the end zone for Auburn, and we have a touchdown in Waco.
War Eagle. Auburn just now again see the play, but here I go where I can tell what just happened. And that was Jackson Arnold running through defenders, just got through broke 3 or 4 tackles, and Auburn on the board with a touchdown with 34 seconds left in the ball game. And if we can keep this up, Auburn is going to be good. It's going to be a real good game, I think.
Yeah, extra point here to come for Alex McPherson, as that extra point is up and good for Auburn.
And they have a weird snap right there for the extra point. But as you said, he made it, and I'm glad Alex McPherson has made it back to college football. And I think as he was 2 years ago, he was dominant, did not miss a single field goal or extra point. Went 13 of 13 on field goals and 40 of 40 on extra points 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know, Colton. That was a really odd touchdown dance from Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but hey, he got the touchdown. I'll let him do whatever he can do without doing anything that can get him fined or kicked out of the game. To me.
Wow, they're already back from commercial. That is a very quick. Fox is really quick, their commercial breaks. Thank you, Fox.
Yes, and thank you, Fox, for all these commercial breaks being so fast. And Jackson Arnold is the leading rusher for Auburn with 36 yards. Malcolm Simmons is our leading receiver with 26 yards on that one reception. And Jackson Arnold is 2 of 4, as I said, with 33 yards a few minutes ago.
And there's the kickoff as Baylor will return this. And there's some space, but getting only to about the 35-yard line. There was a lot of space for the kick returner to make, and he gets tripped up. Good job by Auburn not to allow a long return.
Yeah, Auburn cannot let anything foil their momentum. Good tackle by Auburn's defense right there. If he had broke loose, that would have just diminished all our momentum. And I think Jackson Arnold, that last drive, showed that he's not afraid to get hit. So I'm glad.
Here's the carry for the Baylor running back. I believe that is Bryson Washington, as that will most likely be the last play of the first quarter, unless Baylor wants to do anything. But 10 seconds to go, I believe they're just going to let this clock run out and go to the second quarter.
Yep, and that was a 1-yard gain with 2nd and 9. Now going in to the second quarter, score is 7-3. Auburn up, and great football game and great to come, I believe.
Yep. All right, we're going to go to a commercial break, and when we return, it'll be the start of the second quarter in Waco. So we'll be right back. All right, we're going to come back just a second early because I got to get the camera adjusted. Okay. So,
And as Colton said in the chat about that celebration, I don't know much about it, but what I have to say of my favorite NFL touchdown celebration is the one where the player walks off acting like nothing happened, acting like he walks off with no emotions, like he was a robot. That's my favorite one.
No, go back and watch some of Antonio Brown's celebrations. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, I think I know which ones you're talking about, and I think I'm good.
there we go. We're going to go with that camera angle. So, Colton, what did you think about that first quarter?
It was a lot of nothing. Like, Baylor looked okay. Auburn looked okay. It was just nothing, really. It was a couple good plays, but nothing really stand out. I will say the first drive, Arnold looked very stiff. I will say that.
Yeah. All right, here's Robertson looking, and he's going to go down.
Yeah, but as Hugh Freeze just said in his interview, saying that we cannot let those long first downs get us, and that's a 5-yard loss for Baylor Bears. Now third down, I believe.
I believe they said Chris Murray was the guy who got the sack as Robertson's rolling to his right and incomplete. A lot of pressure being brought from Auburn. And that's Bryson Washington, the running back for Baylor, who is hurt.
Yeah, that was number 3 on Auburn, Chris Murray, 6'3", 235 pounds, I believe it said, might have been 265. But Auburn defense doing a good job, 4th and 12 now with, like you said, injured player number 7, Washington, the running back for the Baylor Bears. And maybe nothing is wrong with him because they have lost already their starting running back before the season a few weeks back. So maybe he will be all right and can return to the game. Looks like he's all right, though.
As that punt will roll out of bounds. So Auburn will start with the football in just a minute. Of course, they're showing a promo for tomorrow with Texas and Ohio State. What should be a really good game.
Yeah, and that Auburn should be receiving the ball at about the 25-yard line now.
Can I just say something? Caden Salter, the little bit I saw from Colorado, looks insanely good. Well, like the like 2 drives I saw, he looked much better than Shador.
Arnold with a little bit of pressure now rolling, and he gets it right to his receiver. I believe that's Horatio Fields, who will catch the ball and get about 8 yards to be 2nd and 2 for the Auburn Tigers. Nice throw by Jackson Arnold.
And Horatio Fields, they are saying that he is like a father figure in the quarterback room, and that was about a 7-yard gain. Now 2nd and 3, I believe.
Nice carry right there. I believe that looked like Alston. Yeah, that was Alston who carried the ball for the Tigers. Gets the first down for Auburn.
Horatio Fields was a transfer from Wake Forest last year. And Auburn is doing a really good job now getting into a rhythm, going good as they are about to get going for this first attempt.
Jackson Arnold gets the first down after sliding. And Auburn, like you said, they're really moving up the field.
If that ref wasn't there, that probably would have been 5-6 more yards.
Yeah, really would.
Yeah, that's one thing I am a little offended by sometimes is the ref right there in the middle of the field because he gets in the way 5 or 10 times a game, and I wish they would figure out a better placement for that referee because, like you said, Colton, that could have been another 3 or 4 yards, maybe.
And Jackson Arnold with another incredible run. And I got to say this here early this season. If this is going to be Auburn's offense, this is going to be scary because Jackson Arnold is a scary quarterback to have to play against. This is crazy.
He looked like this last year too until players started getting hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a good 20-yard run for Auburn to get to the 22-yard line. And like I said, they're now in the red zone. If we can keep this up, we can be Auburn can be a real contender this year, I believe. And that was actually the 25-yard line. Sorry for that.
And Singleton with the little end around, he got a nice gain right there. It'll be second down for the Tigers. Jackson Arnold himself has 64 rushing yards. Baylor only has 40 as a team here early in this game. So that's an interesting note.
Yeah, but that is also counting off Sawyer Robinson 5 yards of losses, but still, that's only 45 yards for the other players. And Jackson Arnold is doing a great job. And if he can keep this up without getting injured this year, like I said, they're going to be a good team.
Alston right there with a nice carry. This drive, 6 plays, 56 yards, 3.5 minutes taken off the clock. Auburn looks very comfortable. They had a bad first drive, but here these last 2 drives, they look really comfortable as Arnold will hand it off again to Alston, who is going to barrel his way into the end zone for Auburn as they will go up 10 points right now.
You may, yeah, 10 points. And Auburn, that's what we needed, was able to get the ball, punch it up the middle, because Jarquez Hunter was a good run through people back, but DeMar Austin, what he just did, he just barreled over 3 Baylor players to get into the end zone, and as he shushes the crowd, Auburn could get out of hand for Baylor in a hurry.
10.5 to go until halftime. And Auburn, they got all the momentum in this ball game as they will put that extra point right up in there. 14-3.
So I know a few weeks ago I did this preview with Auburn saying that Auburn could go 10-2, 11-1, and this is the reason why. This was my expectations for Auburn if they were going to be good was Jackson Arnold being able to break out the pocket, stay comfortable, and if we keep up like this without injuries. I think Auburn could go 10-2 with maybe those losses being to Texas A&M and somebody else if everything goes well. But can't go too fast because of last year we were up 21 points against Missouri, blew that. So Auburn cannot take off the gas right now.
Yep. Colton, what did you think about that drive?
It was good. I felt like all the issues with the first quarter, it was kind of just gone there. They focused on the run game, and then when they finally, when they did pass, what was that, 2 passes the whole drive? They didn't pass much, but it felt like they seemed a lot more comfortable and they did a lot more. I also feel like Baylor's defense didn't play very well that drive either.
True.
Yeah, the way Jackson Arnold is running the ball and getting out of the pocket, I don't think we need to throw the ball. But I would like us to see and get to throwing some balls to Eric Singleton Jr., see what he can do, and also get to Cam Coleman because we've tried to get it to him twice, but both times it was one was a little out of reach and the other one was deflected. So we need to go back to Cam Coleman.
All right. Let's go to a 30-second ad, and we will be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. As the game is about to come back, Auburn takes an 11-point lead with 10.5 to go until halftime, and man, oh man, it was 3-0 Baylor.
Yeah, and you said that you thought Baylor was going to go up 10-0.
I know, way things change in college football. It's amazing.
The turns have tabled.
Oh yeah.
Nice kick.
Yeah. Anything can happen in college football, and if Baylor had scored that touchdown there, no telling what the score would be right now because Auburn had no momentum, and that's what gave them the momentum that has given us these past two touchdown drives, with us having 3 times as many rushing yards as we do receiving.
So let's see what Sawyer Robertson and this Baylor offense can do. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 25. Running back to the right of Robertson. He's got 4 receivers wide. He sends that running back in motion as there's a pass. That's going to be a first down for Baylor, getting it out to his receiver. Which can't find it. We'll have to see. Ashton Hawkins is the guy who caught the ball.
And right there, I think what Baylor is trying to do now is just get rid of the ball faster. They did not, that last drive, they just got bullied on the offensive line, and they are trying to just get rid of the ball faster.
Michael Trigg got up the field for a short carry. So Derek Nix is the offensive coordinator at Auburn, and of course DJ Durkin, defensive coordinator for Auburn. And nice little carry right there that's Cade Knighton.
Both teams would be way better off if they just focus on the run game. I mean, Auburn's figured that out, but Baylor slowly, I think, is noticing that too. But
yeah, Auburn is pressuring a bunch, so it makes it easier for Baylor to get some good running. But now it's 3rd and 3 with 9 minutes left in the second quarter.
overshot him.
Yep. Overshot his receiver. It's going to be 4th and 3 for Baylor.
And there's if Baylor does not go for it, that's another 3 and out for Baylor, and Baylor has to get something going if they want to do it. But that had the potential of being a big play for Baylor, but like you said, he just overshot him by 3 or 4 yards.
Here we go, 4th and 3. Baylor's going to go for this. Robertson sends a man in motion. He takes the snap. He's looking. Pocket collapsing. Now rolling to his right. Now going to throw it. That's incomplete. But there is a flag out on the field, so we'll see what that is going to be.
He would have been better off just running it there because he had room and then he slowed down and tried to pass it.
It's a holding
Yeah.
on Baylor, and so it's going to be
That-
Auburn ball.
Yeah, and that was holding. Just tore down the Auburn defense lineman, but that's a good stop. Baylor risky right there. Auburn has the chances right now to go up by 18 points, and I think Baylor is in trouble if they cannot get a stop here against Auburn.
It is early though, to be fair.
It is early; anything can happen. But I do think if Baylor gets down by 21 points or so in the first half, Auburn this could get out of hand too fast, and they will have to get a stop. And just to remind y'all of the trivia question for today, it is how many times has Auburn and Baylor been ranked number one in the country? And if y'all want to answer the question, go and drop it in the chat. And if you're right, we'll tell you. If you're right, we might not tell you, but if you're wrong, we will tell you it's wrong. But yeah, that's wrong, Colton. I believe at least. And today, I was hoping kind of see Auburn Deuce Knight get some play. And if Auburn does run away with this, we could get playing time for Deuce Knight. So we'll see.
Well, here we go. 8:43 to go before halftime, and Auburn's back out there. Jackson Arnold tonight, 3 of 5 for 41 yards, but that is not really the full story because he's carried the ball himself 6 times for 64 yards, and he ran in for a touchdown. So we'll see what they can do. As Arnold will hand it off to Jeremiah Cobb on a nice run right there. That is about 8 or not, about 8 yards right there. Nice carry.
Yeah, Auburn's running game has been dominant. We have 140 yards almost in rushing. So just keep ground pounding, and if we keep that up, and Baylor has nothing to stop, we're doing good.
This has been a very fast-paced game as Arnold will hand it off to Eric Singleton, who will get the first down on that 2nd and 3. Beautiful play there from Auburn. And I really love this play call.
Yeah, Auburn is doing this jet sweep motion for Eric Singleton Jr., and it is a really good idea because if he is a speedy wide receiver, that time only got about 3 or 4 yards, but we need to get going as one of the Auburn players just got shoved down on Baylor's offensive on Baylor's side, but nothing amounted of it, it looks like.
Here we go. Arnold looking to throw. Gonna go deep. He's got a man that is caught down to the 9-yard line. That is Cam Coleman. Welcome to the ball game.
Finally, a decent celebration too.
Yeah, I know.
And that's where we need to keep on going and stay consistent this year. As Cam Coleman is, he can be one of the most dominant wide receivers, and a great catch right there as it was high and just looking in awe at everybody from that catch. 1st and 10 for at the Baylor 10-yard line.
But if you're an Auburn fan, that's definitely got to be a nice sight to see a quarterback who actually throws. That one's thrown to the end zone, looking for Coleman again, incomplete, as Coleman was trying to search for some contact from the defensive back, but no call.
Yeah, it looked
Yeah.
like he was just to get a call, but see, he could have got it, but he
was searching for the call.
he's kind of stupid.
He did
behind.
get held up, I think. That one could have been a call, but I'm fine with the no call with it being just first and goal. If that was third and goal, I would argue more about it because he did have his arm around Cam Coleman.
Second and goal. Here is Arnold with the handoff to Cobb. And he may have gotten a yard out of that, and that'll be all. So third and goal for the Tigers, as this is a big play here, because if you go up 21-3 with 6.5 to go before halftime, if you're Baylor, this really puts a lot of pressure on you because you are going to be down 18 points going into halftime. That's going to be hard to come back from.
Yeah, if Auburn goes up 18-0 this drive, Baylor has to capitalize next drive with at least a field goal. Cannot have another stop and cannot do what they did last time, going for it on fourth down and getting stopped in Auburn territory, in their own territory. Just some bad play calling right there.
And Arnold dumps it off to Frazier, his tight end, who gets a few yards, but that'll be all. It's going to be fourth and goal, and it looks like Hugh Freeze is going to send out the field goal unit to kick the field goal. But, I mean, yeah, you didn't get a touchdown there. But, I mean, hey, if you make this, you go up 17-3. I mean, here we go.
Yeah.
McPherson puts that one in.
Yeah, McPherson, he's doing a great job. Nothing hard yet, but last season Auburn was only 54.5% on field goals, worse than the FBS. This year, I think we are going to have a better better kicking team, and we're up 17-3. So Auburn keep this up, and defense doing a great job to me.
So 14-point lead with about a little under 6.5 to go before halftime. So just really interesting ball game here. Baylor, of course, they got 3 points to begin the game, and then it's been all Auburn after that. And so who knows? Maybe we knew something about the 19 rank.
And Colton,
Jacob, that is a good question about Auburn. If I think they got a team this year, I legitimately think if they play like this every single game, I think they're going to be scary.
yeah, Jacob, I don't know, but I think I'm an Auburn fan, so I am biased. But Auburn, I think, has a real chance of being good this year, and don't be surprised if Auburn pulls off a win against Georgia or Alabama or both this year if they keep on playing like this. But Baylor. Is not as good as they could be, but also I think Auburn's doing a real good job.
As the most unbiased voice sitting here, I can confidently say Auburn will be decent this year. 7-5 is my prediction.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Baylor's good though. I think Baylor will probably also be about 7-5, 6-6 range.
Which would be worse than what they did last year.
Yeah. But okay, but you can't really say that they're terrible based off, what is this? A quarter and,
Quarter and a half.
A quarter and a half. Like, you can't say, oh, Baylor's awful. Auburn's great because it's a quarter and a half. Anything can happen. And it's just the first game. I'd wait till at least, 4 or 5 games in. Then I'd say, oh, maybe Baylor's bad. Oh, maybe Baylor's good. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
Yeah, and Auburn, another good test, a road game to Norman, Oklahoma, return of Jackson Arnold. That is going to be a great game in Norman, Oklahoma. And I think Auburn will pull off the win against Oklahoma. But, Colton, what do you see in that game?
Jackson Arnold has a history of playing bad at Norman, so I don't know. It all depends. He played
Yeah,
good against Bama though. This is the one game he played really good
Yeah, but
when it was already really mad.
but also, like you said in the chat earlier, he has not. Auburn did not have a good quarterback last year, and Jacob, going off your question about Auburn not having a past past years, Jackson Arnold has been a great quarterback since that Bo Nix versus LSU game. That was probably the last time Auburn has had a good quarterback.
Yeah, Bo Nix. Honestly, if he doesn't get hurt that year, which I can't remember who was coaching the team at that time, but had he not got hurt, that would
not Gus.
probably would have been. Yeah, Gus was the coach.
No, it was Brian
Gus?
Harsin. It was Brian Harsin.
It was Harsin.
Yep. Because that's the reason why Bo Nix transferred. I had some inside knowledge in Auburn that year, that Auburn was going to put TJ Finley in after the second or third drive, but they did it, and they decided it was going to be a bad idea with how Bo Nix was playing, and there goes number 2 of Baylor breaking a few tackles, getting to Auburn, getting to their own 45-yard line, 50-yard line.
Yeah, and on this next play, Bryson Washington, he makes a play. He is back out on the field, which is really good to see, as here is Sawyer Robertson again out to his receiver and down to about the 40-yard line there for Baylor. And so, Baylor's making some plays here at near the end of the first half, and we'll see what they can do. Another quick pass to the same guy.
Yeah, screen pass, play before, and but DJ Durkin just came out on the field a little bit, yelling at his defense, get into the game because we're slacking off and they're getting into tempo, so we need to stop the tempo. I would think that we might get a timeout called actually if this tempo stays up.
Here we go. Robertson looking, and wow, was that caught? No. He was looking for Michael Trigg, but hey, if Trigg came down with that, that would have been a crazy catch. But incomplete, as Cole Wilson is number 2 for Baylor, and he is having an incredible first half.
Yeah, that was good play by Auburn, shoving him out of bounds before he could get his feet planted down and get a good firm control. That's Jay Robinson, and it looks like he's requesting for a substitute. Might have been shaken up a little bit, and that ball was tipped by Champ Anthony.
Looks like Bryson Washington gets a few yards on that carry. Give me 3rd and 9 for Baylor. So we shall see what they do. Tonight, Auburn's 1 of 3 on 3rd downs. Baylor 1 of 6. So this is going to be a big play right here. Here we go. Robertson looking, pressure, going to get rid of the football. That one's incomplete. Tipped around and incomplete. And so, I believe that was, they said Strader was who made the play there for Auburn. We'll see what Baylor tries to do.
Yeah, and looks like Baylor is trying to do the opposite Auburn a little bit, but that could have been intercepted right there. But Baylor has 121 receiving yards, so compared, and that's 21 yards less to Auburn's rushing yards. So I think Baylor is trying to go into the passing game, which is not a bad idea. The way
Robertson to the end zone for a touchdown. I hate to cut you off, but what a play as Baylor will score, and that is Kobe Prentice. If you know the name, he was at Alabama a few seasons ago, and here he is scoring a touchdown against a team that he knows all too well. Touchdown, Baylor.
Going for it on 4th and 9 is crazy, but
yeah, that was a crazy call, but they capitalized. But Auburn just let them get open. I think a little bit surprised actually by it. Same here. I was surprised that they were going for it with it being 4th and 9.
That extra point is up, and it is good. Baylor scores a touchdown, and it is 17-10. So we got a ball game, and what a beautiful catch right there for Kobe Prentice, wide receiver. Folks, we are going to go to a commercial break, and we will return in a minute to the action that we have going on that is taking place in Waco, Texas. All right, welcome back. As there's the kickoff, and that will be fair caught for Auburn.
And a little score update for the Colorado Georgia Tech game. It's 10-7 with Georgia Tech leading Colorado.
And another score to keep an eye on: Michigan State up 23-0 over Western Michigan. So we'll see what Jackson Arnold can do as the Auburn Tigers. I mean, they 3:21. If they use all this clock, I mean, hey, they could go down and score, and we'll see what they can do. So here we go from the 25, running back behind Arnold, and a couple of receivers. Arnold looking to throw. He's going to get his tight end Frazier
Oh, fumble.
for a couple of yards. And did he fumble that
He
ball,
lost it.
or was that just incomplete pass?
I think he might have been down, but it was definitely a catch. I think it was down though.
Just now getting to it for me, and I will see if I can define it a little bit. Yes, I believe he was down, but he might have gotten it back, I believe. But I can't tell. But Baylor might have ripped it. Yeah, Baylor ripped it back out if it was a fumble. But I believe
Okay, so they're giving
Auburn's
the
either-
ball to Baylor. They're giving the
And-
ball to Baylor. They said that he was not down and
Let's
he
see.
fumbled the ball, but was his knee down?
Definitely down. He's down.
Yeah.
And
Because
if
he
I was
doesn't lose the ball until he falls.
Yeah.
And if I was you, Freeze, you have to challenge this. It's too big of a momentum swing if it doesn't get overturned, because Baylor could go and get a touchdown. But going back, his knee was obviously down, had good control, so it will be an easy turn back if they review it.
So the officials are going to look at this.
This
No
should be quick,
challenge for
though.
Hugh Freeze that had to be used.
This should be a quick, overturn.
Yeah,
Auburn's ball.
one look,
Yeah.
no problem. But
This
that was
should
close.
be that live because it's kind of covered.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah,
that
this
thing
view
behind?
that
Oh.
this view they just looked and they're looking at now on my end is the best view, and it is obvious he was down before the ball even started to move, and I think it was on contact with the ground that he was losing the ball. So I think it would still be not a fumble, even if so.
Okay.
Auburn should retain possession.
It's overturned.
So they overturned it, and it's going to be Auburn ball. So they said that Frazier was down before losing the football. So, I mean, for us, I think we all pretty much agree that's a good reverse that the officials did. And hey, this is Jason Autry, who, if you know the name from the SEC football, you know this is one of the most hated guys in the SEC because he's one of the worst officials. But hey, he's actually doing a pretty good job tonight. So, got to give him credit. As there is a run for Damari Alston, who's trying to break some tackles. He'll be brought down after a gain of about 4 yards right there.
I'm just gonna say,
Yeah,
if you know
and one
the
thing-
referee, then you're a pretty big football fan.
Yeah.
And for Hugh Freeze, he is, I think he's way better than Brian Harsin was, because Brian Harsin, he never got up in the face of the referees. So that's one thing I like about in a coach is getting up in the face of the referee.
It was better than 11 and
It
14.
was a lot better than 11 and 14.
Here's Arnold looking to throw, going to roll out, and now looking, he'll just get out of bounds after a gain of about 2 yards, as that may be the last play before the 2-minute timeout, as that's going to be a 2nd and 9, they're saying.
So Auburn has done a good job this game so far, keeping going, mixing the run game and the passing game, and Jackson Arnold getting out of the pocket. So Auburn's looking promising, but got to get keep Baylor at bay, which Bay starts with Baylor. So, but Auburn just needs to keep it up into the 2-minute warning now.
All right, 2-minute timeout. And so we'll keep it here and just talk as giving you an update. Colorado got a field goal, so it's now tied at 10 apiece in Boulder. Right now, App State's up 27-3 over Charlotte, which is just crazy to think about as they're looking at a possible targeting. And then I believe Illinois is still at halftime. I believe it's like 34-0. So
31-0 at halftime. But yes, Illinois has that game in the bag, it looks like, and there was no doubt really that they were going to lose.
I mean, there's still 2 more quarters left. They could somehow lose.
Against WIU, Colton, no.
You never know. They could be just trying to trick people and purposely letting them get a head start.
Sure. Go ahead and tell yourself that.
All right. While we have a break while the game's at a break, I'm going to put my scoreboard full screen for a second, and because I can switch to my graphic right here for our SBN top 10, and I just want to get y'all's thoughts on it, because last night I kind of talked about it a little bit, but Colton and Derek wanted to get y'all's thoughts on our top 10 here.
I'll go.
Who
first.
wants to go first? You go ahead.
I'll go first. I'll gladly go first. So, in my unbiased opinion, Texas is way too high. I'd say swap. Okay, wait, let's see. I'd go Ohio State 1 because they just won the national championship and they have a really good team. I'd go Ohio State, Ohio State, Texas. I think it's all good. Besides, I just swap Ohio State and Texas and I'd probably swap Oregon with Georgia.
Okay.
That's my unbiased professional opinion.
And to me, I like the first two, but I am biased. I know it. I am. But I think Alabama is a little high. Could be swap. I think they could be ranked number 5 to me, behind Penn State and Oregon. But I just think Bama has not proven to me yet that drawing a blank now, or whatever the quarterback name is, Tyler Simpson. To me, he has not proved me anything that he's going to be a great player. So that's the main reason why I am not high on Alabama being at number 3.
So nice run there by Jackson Arnold, but there is a flag out, so we'll see what this is going to be.
He's surprisingly shifty,
Yeah.
Like, he looks like he's going one way, and then once Stevens catch up to him, he goes the other way. He did not do this at Oklahoma.
Looks like it was a holding. It will be a holding call on number 3 of Auburn to me.
Yep.
Late flag.
That's Perry Thompson, as he was holding up one of the defensive backs of Baylor as he's trying to help Arnold get out across the edge.
And to me, that call could have been let go. It looked like a good blocking, but he did get a little handsy. So you never know.
So here we go. Arnold's got Alston to his right. He's got, looks like 3 receivers out wide. Arnold looking to throw, going to roll to his left. Now trying to make a play. He's going to try to run for it. He's going to outpace some of these defensive players, and he's going to get the first down. What a play by Jackson Arnold. He does a great job of making the play.
And that's one thing I'm noticing about Jackson Arnold. He's just outran 3, 4, 5 players maybe in Baylor. So Jackson Arnold is doing better. I'm not saying Payton Thorne. Jackson Arnold is doing better at throwing and running. He knows when to stay in the pocket, when to keep the play going. Payton Thorne, whenever he got under pressure, he would just chunk it to a wide receiver, which caused so many interceptions last year. And it looks like they left it at 3rd and 1. So Auburn is 1 and 3 on 3rd down in conversions, and here they go.
And Auburn does get the first down on that play.
And that was a run up the middle for about 4 or 5 yards for Damari Alston. Good first down. And the clock will stop because it's under 2 minutes. So Auburn can go and hurry up and get going.
Fumble.
It's because it's a backwards pass.
That was bad.
But hey, Auburn retained the ball, but they got a long way to go. Cobb recovering that.
Side note: 13-10 Georgia Tech over Colorado. Halftime.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is bad.
he was. Auburn should. Oh man, that was.
Oh, okay. He got
What
hit
is?
right as he went to throw it.
Yeah,
He
that's
just
what
held on to
happened. Was yeah, that's what happened. He got hit right as he was throwing it, got twisted. So that's what happened. I believe Auburn probably called a timeout, but I don't know.
You're not supposed to do. Instead, he should have jumped on it instead of jumping by and trying to grab it.
Yeah.
That's just a mental mistake. You should know better to do that. Because at least if you jump on it, you have it. But
Yeah, I think what happened though, it's number 15. He just got caught up and started slipping. So that's what happened. But Auburn's got to capitalize if they want to score. But they did call a timeout. 1 minute and 1 second left in the second quarter.
Yep. So we'll see what they can do. It's going to be really interesting. It's a long halftime for Illinois and Western Illinois.
Yeah, I'm wondering if anything's going on or something. But yeah.
I think they're fixing to come back. Here we go. Arnold rolling to his right on 2nd and 20. Now going to throw this one out of bounds because there was nowhere to go with it. Be 3rd and 20 with 53 seconds to go.
So yeah, it's 3rd and 24 now, and like you said, nowhere to go for Arnold on that last play. It just chunks it out of bounds. But Auburn here, I think there's a scoreboard malfunction. But yeah, Auburn not here. Just try to get some positive yards and get 5 or 6 yards and get your punter in a better position to pin Baylor back deep where they can't do anything since Baylor has all 3 of their timeouts. Oh, well, they have 2 timeouts, but still.
There's Alston with a carry for about 2 yards, and that's it. So Baylor will take the second of their 3 timeouts as they're going to try to get the ball back. So they will have 1 timeout remaining as they will try and get some points before halftime.
going back to that throwaway second ago, the start of that play was a lot of the problem in the first quarter. Where Arnold just stood there all stiff, didn't really do anything, and once he saw the pressure coming, then he started rolling out.
Yeah, Arnold, Arnold, so far, what I've seen, is doing way better than Peyton Thorne. Peyton Thorne, he would try to bully himself way out of things. Jackson Arnold tries to escape and avoid the hits whenever he needs to. But what I've seen so far, Jackson Arnold is doing good.
So a couple of flags here that come in as they're on the punt, as it's a fair catch for Baylor. And so we'll see what these flags are about.
Yeah, I'll watch and see if I see anything. Might be maybe offsides by Baylor, so could have a repunt. And then there was a running into a player, so this probably will be a re-kick right here.
So it's 2 penalties on Auburn, 1 false start, and then 1 running into the returner by Auburn. And so
He slipped.
Yeah, he slipped.
It's a little unfair, but
So yeah, that would be 15 yards, I believe, for Baylor. So Auburn has to have their defense and get a stop in bounds with 38 seconds left on the clock. It can't let anything happen.
So 38 seconds for Baylor. They got 1 timeout. Auburn's got all 3 timeouts. So we'll see what they can do here. Sawyer Robertson going to throw. That one's incomplete as Sawyer Robertson was looking towards the sidelines. That is incomplete. And so now, of course, that stops the clock because it was incomplete pass. So we'll see what what Baylor decides to do on this next play with 33 seconds to go here before halftime.
Yeah, for me, if Auburn can get a stop here without too much time running off, I'll be aggressive and call the timeout. But if they get a turnover, definitely being aggressive. But I think they just run it out if Auburn gets the ball back before the end of the half.
And that is a sack for Auburn as they take down Robertson on this play. As I don't know if Baylor's really in any hurry now as they see that Robertson got sacked. I believe Auburn gets the ball to start the second half, so we'll see. But, so Baylor did take their final timeout. So 28 seconds to go before halftime, Baylor did take that timeout.
So if Auburn gets the stop right here, I think for me, since it is going into halftime and Auburn gets the ball after half, we don't call the timeout, but it will be interesting if we do play aggressive and try to get points before, if we get the ball back. So what's y'all's
third and 18? What are you going to say?
No, go ahead. Since the play, I'll go over it during halftime.
Okay. So 3rd and 18 here. Robertson's 9 of 19 tonight, so let's see what he can do on this play. 18 yards is what Baylor has got to get here. Running back to the left of Robertson, sends a man in motion. Here is Robertson looking to throw. Got a man across the middle. And breaking a tackle is Michael Trigg as he got very close to that first down line. It's going to be 4th down, and now interesting to see if Baylor decides to go for this. What do you think, Colton?
Judging by what they've done throughout the game, they're going for it. They went for a 4th and 9 and got a touchdown.
Yeah, so this is a 4th and 3.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And they went out of bounds, so that stops the clock. So no-brainer for Baylor to go for it, and probably the way they have been playing. If Auburn does get the stop here, you do play aggressive because you're easily in field goal range with your 3 timeouts. So DJ Durkin's defense needs a stop right here if Auburn wants to get some points.
Here's Robertson. That one was almost picked off.
The flag.
But there is a flag.
I think that might be a PI.
We'll see what this is going to be, but there is definitely a flag. I will say this, though. The way they're throwing these flags, this is the only complaint I have about this. They threw the flag before the play was over.
Yeah.
And it's a holding on Auburn.
Yeah, I don't see what that could have been against Auburn. It was very little contact to me.
That's tick-tacky. I mean,
yeah. Well, I guess since it did go to him, I guess it kind of makes sense. But
yeah, I think that one could have been let go. But should it make much of a big deal because with Baylor having no timeouts left?
Here's a long pass. Robertson incomplete as he was looking deep.
That's like the 5th time this QB has done that.
Yeah.
Every time they go deep, he just throws it just a hair over his head.
Looking for Cole Wilson.
After receiving the holding penalty on Auburn, it was more than I thought. But yeah, just 2 yards too long and would have been complete for Baylor. But 8 seconds left. All Baylor can do now is hope to get a few yards and get out of bounds fast and be able to get their kicker out and get some points.
So Auburn will take the first of their 3 timeouts in this half with 8 seconds to go. We'll see what that means for both of these teams. But
have they had this QB? Baylor?
Yes, that he's returning for Baylor.
I feel like he's just
Yeah,
worse.
last year he finished off 6-0 in the regular season after going 1-5, I believe. He did turn around Baylor a little bit, but I think the reason why Auburn called the timeout right there is because of they might not have been set or just to go over the game plan if they go get out of bounds and go fast trying to get a touchdown.
So here we go. A 2nd and 10 for Baylor. We'll see what they decide to do here. 8 seconds. And I'll say this. I think Baylor, if you're Baylor, if you got to have like a quick little out route, I would say if you can get to the 35 and keep some time on the clock, that would be amazing. So let's see what they do as there's a man in motion for Robertson. He takes the snap. He's looking, going to throw it across the middle. Incomplete as Michael Trigg dropped that ball. That would have been a huge catch if Trigg could have caught that for Sawyer Robertson. It is now 3rd and 10.
That was another.
Yeah, and now that was incomplete, there's really no hope unless Baylor goes for a Hail Mary play right here. But yeah, that could have been a big play right there.
He both threw it a little too far ahead of him, and he didn't really. It seemed like he didn't really try to catch it.
Yeah,
it looks like they're going to try a lateral play as he's taken down. It's a reception for the receiver, and he gets down, and that's halftime. That is halftime, folks. 17-10, Auburn with the lead. And so, wow.
Yeah, so Auburn did a good job keeping Baylor at bay. Looked like things could go south real fast for Auburn, but Auburn's defense, like they did last year, is keeping Auburn's offense in the game. And as we are up 7 points last year, Auburn probably still would be only 3 or 7 points. So Auburn is a better offense this year, I believe.
I mean, I was impressed with their offense. I thought they did really good.
And the question that I was going to ask earlier, what are y'all predictions for the Texas versus Ohio State game tomorrow?
You can go ahead, Colton.
I'll go first. I don't really know. If I had to pick one, I'd rather see win. It'd be Ohio State. But if I'm being honest, I think Texas would probably win. But it's gonna, no matter who wins, it should be close. If it's a blowout, then whoever loses, that's probably gonna have a really bad year.
Yeah.
But it also just depends. Both of them have like super like high expectations on their first year starting QBs, you know. So if one of them plays bad, then you're gonna hear about that for a whole week, if not the whole season. So it should be good though.
Yeah, I picked Texas to win the game because I think Arch Manning is going to have a great game. So I took Texas in the game.
Yeah, and for me, I'm taking Ohio State just with Arch Manning finally getting his first big start and after not being behind Quinn Ewers now, I feel like it's going to be rough for Arch Manning having a hard time in the Ohio State Buckeyes Stadium. I think it's just going to be too overwhelming for him. A close game, maybe a 28-27 game, 21-28 game. I see it being really close, 3 to 7 point game. And if it's a blowout, then like Colin said, one of them's not going to live up to their expectations this year.
All right, let's go to a commercial break, and we'll be back to discuss the game further as part of our halftime show. So we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm Cooper Naylor, and this is Derek Sanford joining me. Colton had to leave, so he will be. So we thank him for coming on for a little bit, like he did. And so we will continue our halftime as Derek. From what you saw from the first half, what do you, for Auburn, what do you need to happen in the second half to continue to be in the lead and then possibly win this football game here tonight?
So for me, Auburn, they're going to have to get their defense back as they were the first drive of the second quarter and the last drive they had of the first, with just shutting Baylor down. And for Auburn's offense, they have to get back into a rhythm with them. They just went downhill, and that's all I have really to say mainly.
And I'll say this because I'll speak on the Baylor side of things. I feel like they let Auburn's defense really get in their head. If you are Baylor, I feel like you've got to put away some of those anxieties you had in that first half. You just got to go out there and play football. That the end of the first half, I thought they did a decent job. So I think it's going to come down to you got to just execute the plays as you know to. And I mean, there's a lot of drop passes Baylor had. So if Baylor can clean up some of these mistakes, then I think that this game could be really close and come down to the very end, which is what we all hope for.
If Auburn comes out on top. But I'll blow off a few of the facts right here of the first half. Auburn had 238 total yards, and Baylor had two more than Auburn with 240. And 0 turnovers for both teams. Auburn had 14 first downs. Baylor had 11. And there was 5 penalties for Auburn, amounting to 45 yards, and only 1 on Baylor for 5 yards. 2 of 5 on third downs for Auburn. 2 of 9 on Baylor. Fourth downs, Auburn has not went for 1. Baylor is 2 of 4. And time of possession, 16 minutes, 41 seconds for Auburn, and 13 minutes and 19 seconds for the Baylor Bears.
All right, folks. That is our keys to the second half. We're going to take another commercial break, and then we will be back as the second half will be back very, very shortly. We'll be right back. All right, we are back, everybody. It's still halftime in Waco as Auburn leads 17-10 as we get ready for the second half to begin. Some updates around the country. Illinois up 38-0 right now. Georgia Tech leads Colorado 13-10. And App State up 27-11. Also, something else to keep in mind. Army right now, I don't know. I need to get an update. Last I saw, they were in overtime with Tarleton State tied at 24. So
Let me look them up real fast if you need me to.
okay, they're in second overtime tied at 27 apiece, folks. So that game, that's crazy. Also, Wake Forest is up 10-9 on Kennesaw State with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. So, couple of really close scores around the country right at this moment.
And I'm keeping an eye right now on this Baylor Army game. Not Baylor Army game. This Army Charleston State game. Keeping an eye on it. But something to get back to the Auburn game. Auburn had 45 yards in penalties. Cannot keep that up. You got to take the penalties down and then just stay clean on the offense.
Yeah, and there was a couple that you could look at and be like, yeah, I don't know if that really. I mean, that it was kind of. I think was it the holding call that we thought was tick-tacky? I think that was what it was.
It was tick-tacky at first, but then whenever I saw it again, it did look more like it was a holding call than I had thought. So I thought the receiver just slipped, but they both slipped, and Auburn player kind of used him as a balancer. So called holding on Auburn, could have went either way, but nothing amounted to it for Baylor. So just got to clean up things like that.
Yep. And for Baylor's side, I think honestly, I don't know. I think you may have said it, but it don't seem like Baylor's had as many penalties as Auburn has.
Yeah, they only have one false start with only 5 yards of penalties. So that's Baylor is staying clean on flags. So Auburn needs to try to rush them a little bit, but harder for Auburn. Most of theirs are false starts, so might be a little affected by the crowd. So just got to clean up things. Another one was the interference on the punt. So just gotta clean things up and stay clean.
Yep.
And right now, Charleston State is 2nd and 11 with the ball in the second overtime, as you said, and they are trying to score a touchdown. And if they score a touchdown, they have to get the two. They have to go for a 2-point conversion.
All right. I've got to get up, so I will be back in a minute, but let's go to a commercial break, and we'll be back after this break.
And hello, everyone. We are back. Cooper, step out for a minute and update on the Tarleton State versus Army game. Tarleton State is 4th and 5 and Army 25 now attempting a field goal. And then if they make it, and they did, 30-27 now. Army, and now that's game. Army has been taken down by Tarleton State. Tarleton State Texans have defeated the Army Black Knights, and the final score of that game was 30-27. So that's an update of that game. Another update about the Georgia Tech Colorado game. Georgia Tech is up 13-10. Fourth down now, about to give the ball back to Colorado with 10 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter.
All right, I am back. Thank you for giving that update, Derek. That is crazy. Army lost at home to Tarleton State.
Yes, and Army was a playoff contender last year, and the way they were playing, and then they just hit a rough patch. So Army surprising loss to Tarleton State. So never know about college football, and glad it's back.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
All right, it looks like we are about to come back for the second half of Auburn and Baylor. As I put the scoreboard back on the screen for you. So there's your score, 17-10 Auburn. It was a fun first half, so hopefully we get another good half of football.
Yeah, but and kind of just a quick reminder to everybody out listening. A reminder of the question. It's how many times has Auburn and Baylor been ranked number one? Drop your answers in the chat, and we'll keep an eye on them.
Yep, we will announce that answer here in just a few minutes. So don't forget about that.
How many viewers we got right now?
We got 3 people across Facebook and YouTube at this moment.
So yeah, right now they're saying how Jackson Arnold is staying comfortable in the pocket and escaping, using his running ability. He got 69 yards in rushing, is the rushing leader for Auburn Tigers, and got a touchdown. And it's 6 of 10 in passing with 79 yards total. So Jackson Arnold fitting in with this new Auburn offense that he transferred to.
All right, we're about to see the second half kick come. And update around the country, Western Illinois gets on the board as they put a touchdown on the board against Illinois. So it's 38-6 currently there. As there is the kickoff, and it'll be Auburn football as that will go into the end zone for a touchback.
Yep, and I'll try to keep some live stats up on Colorado Baylor. With it being an interesting game, I believe Baylor, Colorado will have the ball now, and it hasn't updated, but I believe they will. But we'll keep y'all updated.
All right, so we'll see what Auburn can do right here. It is 1st and 10 at the 25. Arnold's got his running back to his left, sends a man in motion. Here's the handoff to Alston, who's going to get about 3, maybe 4 yards on that carry. A nice little nice little handoff to begin the drive.
Yeah, that's one thing Auburn didn't do well. They to start this game, they got in too big of a hurry and just gave up on the run game that first after the first play. But now they're trying to get into a rhythm. They're starting to get into a rhythm going into the second, ending the first half. Now going into the second half, maybe that momentum will carry over for the Auburn Tigers.
And there's Alston getting a first down for Auburn on a nice carry. He's got 11 carries tonight for 63 yards, and he has a touchdown.
The two people with touchdowns is Jackson Arnold and Amari Austin, both of them being rushing touchdowns.
Another carry for Alston right there. Gets about 3 or 4.
And if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Auburn should just keep with it on the ground until Baylor figures something out about it. And then if they start figuring out, just go to the pass game and see if they can get something done.
2nd and 7 here for Auburn. Running back 2 moves over from the left to the right of Arnold, which is Alston. He's going to have 3 receivers plus the tight end out there. And fakes the handoff. Arnold going to take off and run with it himself. He's got a first down, and he's going to try to make a play with it, and he slides at about the 49 on Baylor's side of the field. Almost looks like he tried to turn it up and make a big play out of it, but then he decided to slide and, take away that risk of getting hurt.
Yeah, and that's the one thing Auburn needs, and I think he realized that the defender was going to catch him, so he just did a smart play, avoiding the big hit. So, and that's what all Auburn fans want is him to stay healthy the way he is playing. So, we'll see how he does the rest of the year, though.
Jeremiah Cobb right there for 6 yards. Rushing today, Jackson Arnold, 11 carries for 78 yards. Baylor themselves have 17 carries for 53 yards. So Jackson Arnold having a really nice game on the ground.
Yeah, but now it's 2nd and 4. Jackson Arnold had 78 rushing yards with 11 attempts.
Look at
And
this,
Baylor was
almost
17 and 53.
He was looking for Malcolm Simmons deep, but it's incomplete. I mean, this is a beautifully placed ball. And, I mean, Simmons, he had a chance at this ball. It just not there. He just couldn't get it.
Yeah, that was a little bit sketchy. Could have been a PI there for and Baylor. I think it's good no call, but it could if it came down to game winner and stuff right there. I think they could have called PI, swung the arm right before and holding them a little bit. But a good defense play. Malcolm Simmons could have made the catch probably, but still a 3rd and 4 Auburn ball.
And that is incomplete on the 3rd and 4. So now Auburn's got a big decision here. Do you go for this? I mean, to begin the second half, or do you just punt this back to Baylor? It looks like they're just going to punt it.
See where we're at on the field. I think the way we're at, it won't hurt us if we go for it. So I think we actually go for it here. The way Jackson Arnold has been able to make some plays, I think we go for it, and maybe we can get the first down. But it looks like Hugh Freeze is taking Jackson Arnold off and putting the punting unit on. But we never know if they're going to fake it or not. But another looks like probably false start on Auburn, but perfectly placed ball for punting 5-yard line, but probably will be a 5-yard penalty to bring it out to the 10-yard line.
Okay, so they're going to make him kick again right here on the penalty. So be 4th and 9 now. They'll just have to punt it once again.
And that's what's hitting us bad is that Auburn, they're getting penalties on these kicks and just got to clean it up. This is the third penalty against Auburn's punt unit. Got to clean this up. Can't keep this up throughout the whole year.
And a fair catch at the 10-yard line right there by Baylor. It is 17-10, and Baylor will come out for their first drive of the second half when we return to the action here on Saber Broadcast Network, as we are so glad that you have decided to join us for college football on Saber Broadcast Network.
Update here on the Colorado Georgia Tech game. It's 13-13 Colorado and just got a field goal. 3 minutes and there's 6 minutes left in the third quarter.
That is a really fun game for sure. Also, to give an update, which we'll get to that in a minute, here's Sawyer Robertson looking to throw. He'll get it out to his receiver. That is Michael Trigg, who's got a first down, and he just doesn't want to go down. He is pushing the line, and he got a lot more than what Auburn should have allowed right there. And Michael Trigg, of course, really excited.
Yeah, Auburn, I haven't gotten to see the play yet, but Auburn's defense has slacked off a little bit. Got to get back into rhythm. Yeah, this Georgia Tech Colorado game looks like it's going to be an entertaining one.
And that run goes for about a half yard, and that's it for Washington.
But yeah, that receiving play was a very bad play for Auburn. It was. Auburn just couldn't take him down. That was, I believe, Baylor's tight end, Michael Trigg.
Here we go. Robertson, deep pass, incomplete. No one in the vicinity. 3rd and 9.
Yeah, and I'm about to play behind every it for you, so we'll be interesting trying to call this.
Yep.
But yeah, that last pass, Auburn, he just chunked that up. Auburn was in the vicinity of a potential pick, but 5 yards away from the closest player and was not.
And this pass is deflected. It's going to be 4th and 9 as Auburn looking to get the football right back.
Yeah, and maybe Baylor does not go for this 4th and 9 right here. and now Baylor, they're 2 for 10 of and their and 3rd down conversions. So that's one thing Baylor could shape up. But good deflation by Keldrick Falk right there.
And that punt will roll out of bounds as it'll be Auburn football.
And one thing I've noticed about this Auburn Baylor game, there's been very little, commercials. Congrats to Fox for keeping those commercials down.
Yeah. Update on what's going on around the country. It doesn't really matter to the end result, but Charlotte gets a touchdown. It looks like it may have been like a pick six. It's 34-17 now, but there's only a minute and 15 seconds left in that ball game. So that's just a update about what's going on around the country. So all right, I'm going to do a 30-second commercial and we will return in a minute.
We're back. Hello, everyone. We're back, and just Cooper has stepped out. It looks like, and some quick stats. Auburn Jackson Arnold is 6 for 12 on passing for a total of 79 yards, and Baylor's quarterback Sawyer Robertson is 12 for 26, a little bit under 50%, with 204 passing yards. But Auburn is taking over the run game with 190 yards, with Jackson Arnold with 78 yards on 11 attempts, and Baylor only has 54 yards with only 18 attempts of running. Yeah, but we are still not back from commercial break. Now that we've talked about it a whole bunch, and they're going to lengthen them a little bit. Now we are back, and we'll see what goes on for Auburn versus Baylor, as Auburn has now got the ball. And Auburn has the ball at about their 30-yard line, and here goes Jackson Arnold snapping, about to snap the ball on 1st and 10, and hands it off to Jeremiah Cobb. Jeremiah Cobb around the edge, and that is about a 9-yard gain for Auburn. That was 2nd and 1 with 9 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third quarter. And here comes Jackson Arnold snapping it again. Another handoff to Jeremiah Cobb for about a 2-yard rush to get the first down.
All right, everybody, I am back. I just had to go because with the Ford TV setup, I left all the remotes in front of the screen, so I had to get up and shift the games around a little bit.
Yeah, but here goes Auburn. Jackson Arnold about to snap it again with Damari Alston, I believe, to his left. Actually, it's Jeremiah Cobb, but he throws it to Eric Singleton, and there's Eric Singleton with a 10-yard gain for another first down for Auburn. Now Auburn's at their own 50-yard at the 50-yard line. Never mind, they have called it 2nd and 1.
I got to say this though, Auburn has been. I've liked what I've seen from their offense here tonight. It's been really good, I think.
Yeah, but here comes Auburn. It looks like Colton just said there should have been a touchdown, but must have dropped. There goes Jackson Arnold. Great run to a 20-yard rush to the 30-yard line. Great job for Jackson Arnold getting 20 yards.
As there's Alston with another good carry for Auburn. It's going to be 1st and 10. As Auburn is getting really close in a scoring position, they are at the 14-yard line. As here's a little quick throw to Singleton.
Yeah, and I'm still behind you about a play and a half or so. So he jumped ahead a little bit, but Auburn Jackson Arnold is now 9-15, Auburn's on a roll now and needs to keep it up. And Jackson Arnold has 99 yards with only 12 rushes. Crazy to think about. And like Cooper said, Eric Singleton got to the 9-yard line.
So Auburn has a 1st and goal after that carry, and they have a really good shot of punching it in right here. And Auburn tonight, and I mean, this may be the biggest key to this game. Auburn's got 232 rushing yards to 54 for Baylor. So here we go.
Actually, 238.
Here. And Auburn, I believe, is into the end zone. Touchdown, Jeremiah Cobb. Auburn has 23 points.
And Auburn, just now about to say it, Auburn, like you said, I believe you said a touchdown. So Auburn now was up by 14 points. And yes, it was for Jeremiah Cobb. All 3 touchdowns for Auburn has been rushing touchdowns. One for Cobb, one for Jackson Arnold, and one for Damari Austin, and another crazy touchdown celebration.
And to update you on what's going on around the country, since the game's now to a commercial break for me, Georgia Tech is in scoring position. It is tied at 13. They are in Boulder, Colorado, right at this moment.
Yeah, that was just a good run for Damari Cobb, or Jamari Cobb, whichever one. Jeremiah Cobb. Never mind, Jeremiah Cobb. Excuse me. A great power run, and great job for Auburn. And I'm now to the commercial break. I'm going to see if getting out of it, getting back into it, we'll get to it, folks.
And a big update. Haynes King, 18 yards, walks into the end zone. They take the 6-point lead over Colorado with 14 seconds left until the end of the third quarter. So that is big news right there. As the extra point is good for Georgia Tech. 20-13 right now in Boulder, Colorado.
And another quick reminder about our question before Cooper announces it. What is the question is? How many times has Auburn and Baylor been ranked number 1? Drop your answers in the chat.
All right. So I think I'm going to go ahead and announce it.
Okay. Oh, great.
So Auburn has been ranked number 1 9 times. Baylor, none.
And Golden, you were right around it with those 9 and 11 picks. Number with 10 and 11, but one shy. Just as you said in the chat. But that did really surprise me about Baylor never being ranked number 1. No. Right now, I'm having a little bit of TV issues, trying to get the game back on. Might have to shut off a thing or two of the internet. We will see what happens. And oh man, gotta figure this out. We'll see what goes on.
I'll keep you updated as there's the kickoff, and it'll roll into the end zone for Baylor. And we'll see what Sawyer Robertson can do here for the Baylor Bears. It's been an okay night for them, but hey, I think it's all been about Auburn tonight. Auburn has looked really good, so we'll see what they can do the remainder of the night as they keep showing some replays on Jackson Arnold and that Auburn offense, what they've done this evening.
Yeah, and I just got the game back on, and right now they're showing where Jackson Arnold threw the Eric Singleton. Where are you at?
Okay. Yeah, you're very close as there's a run for about a yard for, it looks like, Bryson Washington. for
Yeah, I think we're actually really close now. So, and now it's even better for me to commentate it after fixing this problem. I had to shut off my laptop because bogged it down too much.
So 2nd and 9 for Baylor as here's Robertson across the middle, and that is caught. And he gets up to about the 46-yard line.
Yeah, and that was just he got beat. That's I believe that's number 6. He's got to shape up or ship out. He's that's 2 blown coverages, I believe, that he has done. So got to get better, or he's going to lose his starting position.
And another catch for Baylor. That's Cameron with the catch, but now
That was a
there's a
flag.
flag, so we'll see what that is going to be.
Probably a holding call by the reaction of Cameron. But Auburn right there went with a different approach, and yes, it is holding. Went with a different approach with only 3 rushing people, and that holding penalty was on Fagar, number 63. So Auburn has to. I think they need to go back to more pressure. Get quarterback uneasy. That's my take.
So here we
And
go.
that was
1st and 20. Here's Robertson looking to throw, going to get it across the middle, and that one was tipped up in the air. He's looking for Cameron. That one could have been intercepted by Auburn, but just not quite yet. But Robertson, 13 to 28 tonight. It has been a rough night throwing the football for him, but it's not all been his fault.
And it looks like his throwing arm has just got a little injured, maybe by the Auburn player. Might got a little hyperextended or something. Maybe something to keep your eye on as number 24 of Auburn hit his arm. So just something to keep an eye on. And 2nd and 20, and there goes Baylor with a. Oh no, there goes Baylor 40-30. Stopped at the 28-yard line. Auburn 28-yard line. Blown coverage for Auburn.
And that is something, if you're Baylor, you needed that right there because, and like you said, Robertson, he got hit. And so it was nice to see him be able to deliver that football. So we'll see what that brings. It's a 28-yard line. Here's Robertson looking to throw. Got to roll to his right. Looking. Still looking. Now throwing. That one nearly intercepted in the end zone. But there is a flag on the field, so we'll see what that is going to be.
Oh man, yeah, that's a holding. Must be on Colorado. But yeah, that's one thing about Auburn. They have been so close to getting interceptions, and yes, it is holding. But they've been so close to getting interceptions, but just can't capitalize. And that's one thing Auburn needs to get better at is capitalizing when you can get those interceptions and get them.
But I will say this, though. It's not been an easy game for Robertson, but I love the way he got out of the pocket and tried to make a play out of that. I really like that. So here we go.
Yeah.
Robertson's got a running back to his right. He's got 4 receivers wide. Here's Robertson looking, going to throw it. This one's caught, and a hard tackle right there, as I believe that's Ashton Hawkins with the catch.
Sadly to say, surprising that was not called face mask right there. That was obvious face mask, it looked like. But no call, surprising.
It ripped the helmet off, too.
Yeah, that was DeMarcus Reddick, if I'm correct. And yeah, that was face mask all day. A bad miss by the refs. Even though I'm an Auburn fan, that was a bad miss.
So under 3 to go until the end of the third quarter here. 2nd and 7 for the Baylor Bears.
Yeah, but now Marcus Reddick is happy that the refs missed it, and all the Baylor crowd is booing because they saw the review. And Auburn stops, and Baylor's running back gets about a 5-yard gain, 3rd and 2. Auburn needs to stop here and stop Baylor's momentum, and because they are threatening them.
So here we go on a 3rd and 2, running back to the left of Sawyer Robertson. He's got, looks like 4 receivers out there. Robertson looking to throw,
3.
got a little bit of time, going to throw it. Now that is nearly intercepted. And now he throw another flag. This may, by the way, if this is looking, that may be a pass interference they're going to call.
That was both receivers had hands on each other. That's a bad PI if they call it. Yeah, bad PI. Could have kept it in the pocket. Just mental errors for Auburn. That's number 7 or 8 on Auburn. So Auburn's just got to clear it up. And yeah, that could have been held back.
That one, in my opinion, that's not pass interference. That
Yeah,
is not pass interference.
Yeah, both receivers was pushing against each other, and even the Baylor player pushed off of them. So I think it was easy. Should have been a no call, and that's overthrown to 34 Baylor Cameron, and now 2nd and goal as Baylor's quarterback is shooken up. It looks like his ankle was rolled or hurt.
Yeah, the offensive lineman was blocking and just walked right into his ankle.
Yeah, but twisted it up. Maybe he's all right. He's getting beat up this drive. I bet they go with a run this time, maybe for him to get it shaken off a little bit. But Auburn should bring your pressure this drive
There's a
to make it
throw.
mobile.
And gets down to about the 4-yard line. Nice little run after the catch. That's Kobe Prentice for Baylor. It's going to be 3rd and goal for the Bears.
Yeah, I'm surprised they went with the pass, but he did get it out really fast. So Auburn needs to try to make him mobile, I think, with his ankle bothering him. Just my opinion, because he's still aching from it, it looks like, and limping.
So here we go from the 4-yard line. Sawyer Robertson's got a running back to his right. He's got, it looks like 3 receivers out wide. Robertson looking at the end zone. That one's nearly picked again. That is like the 3rd or 4th time it could have been intercepted here on this drive. It's going to be 4th and goal. And it's going to be interesting if they decide to go for this, which I could really see happening.
Yeah, that was DeMarcus Reddick should have had that interception right there. That's one thing. Like I said earlier, Auburn's got to capitalize, and it wasn't as good as it looked at first. Only got one hand on it. Could have been intercepted, but still got to capitalize on it. And they are going for it on 4th and goal.
In the end zone, it's a touchdown for Caden Knighton for Baylor. And Baylor needed that one.
Now Auburn has to get points on this next drive. Can't let Baylor come back with only a minute left in the 3rd quarter. But just easy out throw to his running back, and then just he got to walk right into the end zone. Auburn's got to do better than that.
And the extra point is good. It's a 7-point ball game once again in Waco, and it's a pitch to Caden Knighton as he will walk into the end zone. Baylor is not going away, folks. And so once we return, we are going to go to a commercial break. And then once we return, we'll give you more of the action that is going on in Waco right now. So All right, everybody, welcome back as this game is returning, and Baylor is still very much in this ball game, folks, after that touchdown from Caden Knighton. If you're Baylor, that was what you needed at that moment. 58 seconds to go in the third quarter as there is the kickoff, and this one is returnable as here comes Auburn ready to take this one out. Got some space. Got a lot of space. He's got the edge. He is going to go. He's going to go.
He's gone.
Touchdown, Auburn.
And that
It's
there,
Pleasant.
all the
Great
way,
shot.
all the way. Pleasant, number 14.
Touchdown, Auburn.
Rayshawn Pleasant, and that was pleasant to watch. 30-17, Auburn up with only 43 seconds in the third quarter. Great return for Auburn. That's what we needed.
I mean, all night, Baylor when they were kicking it back to Auburn all night long, I've been watching this. I've been like, they are going to give up one of these here in a minute because they have been very lackadaisical. And it finally happened as McPherson puts the extra point up and good. Auburn is back up 14. And like that, when Baylor had a little bit of momentum going into it, Auburn says, not so fast, my friend, as the great Lee Corso would say. And it's Rayshawn Pleasant all the way to the end zone.
Yep, and Hugh Freeze just came over and said, good job. And congrats to Lee Corso on his retirement off a great career.
And to mention that, we mentioned this last night, but we're going to have a pre-taped college football wrap right at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's only going to be a 30-minute show, meaning that if you watch our show live at 10 a.m., then you will have time after it's over, flip over to ESPN and watch Lee Corso make his final game picks as part of College Game Day, which is crazy to say. So that is something to
John Pleasant. He had 2 kick returns for touchdowns last season with Tulane, and hopefully he can get 3 or more this and do the same this year with Auburn, and even better because that was a 98-yard kick return touchdown.
Just crazy how one play could change the entire trajectory of this ball game. It was 24-17, and like that, Auburn's back up 14.
Yeah, and it looked like Baylor was about to come in and give Auburn a fit, but start coming and giving Auburn a fit. But with that, I think Auburn just secured the momentum back. And here comes Baylor with the return, and he gets stopped up at the 26-yard line. Great play by the defense of Auburn, special teams of Auburn.
Yep. So here we go. We'll see. Sawyer Robertson was literally just out there not very long ago, and here he is again. We'll see what Baylor can do on offense.
And Baylor has 1 more play than Auburn with 2 more yards, but Auburn has had the ball 24 minutes and 30 seconds, while Baylor has had it 19 minutes and 32 seconds. And looks like Baylor's having a hard time getting to their players the play call.
Here we go. Robertson, deep pass, and that is out of bounds. Nowhere for his receiver to go get that. It's going to be 2nd and 10. And it looks like maybe Sawyer Robertson is still kind of aching a little bit from his injuries, both the ankle injury and then the arm injury when he hit the back of his teammate when throwing one of the passes on the last drive.
Yeah, one of the passes was by the Auburn player getting his arm in there, but I think it's his ankle that's bothering him. So I think Auburn needs to put a 5-man rush on him and make him get mobile, might get a turnover or something. And
here's Cameron with a big catch, spinning away from the defenders, and he's down to about the 49-yard line. And what a play. And again, this is some of the plays right here by Auburn's defense where they're just missing tackles.
And that's what we can't do is we're missing tackles that we should get, and getting tackles that we're not really getting the good tackles. But every one of those was just barely out of reach and only being able to get one leg. But Auburn's got to get better on securing the tackles, but there's now the end of the third quarter with the score of 31-17, holding up the four fingers now.
So Auburn, of course, with a 14-point lead. Let's go to a commercial break, and then it'll be about time for the beginning of the fourth quarter. We will be back in a moment.
And welcome back, everyone. Auburn is up 31-17, start of the fourth quarter. Cooper must have stepped out. If anybody in the chat could give us an update on Colorado, please do so now.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It is the beginning of the fourth quarter, and man, oh man, 31-17 Auburn leading Baylor right now.
Yeah, and we've almost had everything in this game other than an interception or a fumble that had been recovered by the other team. Surprising, super surprising, but everything else almost has happened.
And we have a 1st and goal now as Fox messed up their camera for a minute. It's Bryson Washington, and there is just barely any coverage on that play. Auburn is lucky to bring Washington down before he got into the end zone. Just bad defense there by Auburn.
Yeah, my TV got held up, a bad internet connection for me, so I'm still waiting to figure out what's going on. But yeah, I can barely see what's going on, and you can see all the fans getting up. But there it goes. But Auburn got lucky right there, caught them at the 2-yard line, 1st and goal for Baylor. Gotta limit those stops. If we get to SEC play and we're allowing those still, can't let them happen.
Okay, so I will say they got lucky there because there was a penalty on Baylor, makes it 1st and 18, as now Robertson incomplete pass. So they
Must have
went
been a
well
holding.
backwards.
Yeah, holding
Yeah.
right there on the tight end of Baylor. So that's a 10-yard penalty, actually 8. But Auburn got lucky there. Got bailed out by the penalty. So got to be
Yeah, they
careful.
really did.
Got to keep an eye on that.
So here we go. 2nd and 18. What can Robertson do on this play? Here's him looking to pass, and that'll be caught. And that is very close to the first down, maybe 2 yards short. That's Michael Trigg.
Yep, and now I'm back behind you by a good bit, a little bit with the buffer, but yeah, well, I just had an incompletion on 1st and 18. That was 2nd and 18, right? That you had.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Got a
you're
3rd and 2 and a flipped up, and that is caught by Cole Wilson.
I'm back to a little bit, but still haven't gotten to that play. But Auburn's got to get some defense, and Trigg has been tearing up Auburn with 5 receptions, 83 yards. Got to get this passing game stopped because they can beat you by. But yeah, oh. And it was caught barely. Good catch. But Auburn's got to stop this. It could have been stopped, but as we did before, and just giving it up.
So that was an incomplete pass, but looks like a defensive penalty for holding on Auburn. Making it 1st down for Baylor.
Where are they at now?
Let's see. 1st down. I think they're going to be at like the maybe 17-yard line. They're showing a replay, so I'm not.
Okay,
No, okay. So it's the 12-yard line.
They're just announcing it to me now, so got to get. That's one problem I'm having is I'm behind you by so much, and I'm not gonna risk getting out of it, getting back into it like I did earlier, but might have to do it to try to get it closer.
Yeah, the last play was a run for 2 yards. Gonna be 2nd and 8.
And I'm going to get out of it real fast.
Here's the handoff. Handoff for another few yards for Washington, as that's going to be very close to a first. Now it's going to be 3rd and 3 for Baylor. They're in striking position at the moment.
Yeah, and the question for me here is, if they don't get the 1st down, does Baylor go aggressive and try to get it on 4th down? I think they are, just the way they played this game. But Baylor's only
And Robertson flips that into the end zone for a touchdown. It is Michael Trigg. And you were just talking about him a minute ago, how he has been burning Auburn all night. And there he is once again, touchdown Baylor.
Yeah, that was number 6, I think, covering him again. We got to get him out of there. We can't let it happen. He had the size on him, but 6 is actually, never mind, that was 28. But we have to get better coverage. We're doing good on the D line, but gotta capitalize on holding the passing game. But now Baylor's 24-31, Auburn up with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Well, Baylor won't go away. 11:48 to go in the fourth quarter. And we are going to take a break and come back to the action in just and the kick went into the end zone right there. But Derek, what do you, right now, if you're Auburn, what do you need to do?
Auburn, you can't do what they did last year in these moments. They tried to run the clock too much last year. This time, we just pile the ball downfield, get the ball downfield, and get a touchdown. There's nothing else to do. We have to capitalize, get a touchdown or a field goal, and get it a 2-point game again. Can't let Baylor have the chance to come and tie it. Auburn can't do what they did last year so many times. And here's Jackson Arnold with the handoff to Damari Alston for a 2-yard gain. And it looks like he might be hurt.
Yeah, he's a little shaken up on this play. So, luckily for Auburn, they do have Jeremiah Cobb as their second go-to. So, of course, that is
looks
big.
like nothing's bad, but just just a little shaken up. But here's 2nd and 8. Arnold about to snap it, and here he goes to pass, and there it is out to Jeremiah Cobb, and gets tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Gotta get a first down here. Can't let Baylor get the ball back with this momentum.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big moment here. This is a big 3rd down with 10 and a half minutes to go in this ball game. If you're Arnold, you played good all night. You got to find somebody here. Tonight, Auburn 2 of 6 on 3rd down. Here comes Arnold looking to throw. Going to throw it. That'll be caught. That's going to be a first down. Horatio Fields with the catch for Auburn.
There we go. And what we need to do, too, is get Cam Coleman in this game. We've only thrown it to him one time. Get that man in the game. He has been having so much talk, and we haven't even tried to get the ball to him that much. Just get the ball to Cam Coleman and let him do his thing.
So here we go. 3 receivers wide. Here is the handoff to the running back, Jeremiah Cobb, who will get about 5 yards on that carry. And it'll be 2nd down for the Auburn Tigers as the clock goes under 10 minutes now. And if you're Baylor, you are tired, and Auburn has been running it down your throat all night long. And, I mean, this is the time Baylor has got to get a stop. You're only down 7 points. So we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, and Auburn has 250 yards rushing again. Last year's average last season was 177, so 76 or something like that. But Auburn's got to do it, and there goes Jeremiah Cobb trying to get around the edge for just 2 yards gain. Now it's 3rd and 3 with 9 minutes and 20 seconds left in the 4th quarter.
And if you're Auburn, you got to pile it on here. And I mean, if you get a field goal, you get at least some points to help pile it on. But we'll see what they can do on this 3rd and 3 as there's one running back behind Arnold, 2 other men as his tight end goes in motion. Here's the fake the handoff. Jackson Arnold, he's going to be brought down, but there's a flag on the play. So hold everything. This could be big because it could be a penalty on Baylor. It could be a penalty on Auburn. We don't know yet. We'll see what it's going to be. And it's going against Baylor. It's a holding. That is big.
And that's a big momentum shift right there because that can cause Auburn to go and get that go-ahead field goal or touchdown. So Baylor, that's a crucial mistake for a team that has only had 3 penalties all game, 2 of them holding and 1 of them false start. And when Auburn has only had, whenever Auburn's had 8 penalties, Auburn has been sloppy on penalties. So need to get the penalties down. So here goes Arnold snapping the ball, handing off to Alvin Henderson, I believe. First carry for him tonight for no, that's Darnell Robinson, I believe, for a 3-yard gain.
Yep. Darrell Robinson with the carry for Auburn right there. Of course, that is because of Damari Alston, being hurt, and Jeremiah Cobb needed a breather. But here we go. Yeah. 2nd and 7 for Auburn. Arnold all alone in the backfield. Now running back. Now Preston Howard comes back in the backfield. Arnold's going to take off and run with it and gets a few yards right there to make it a very manageable 3rd down for the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah, now it's about a 3rd and 4. Great run for Arnold. I've loved how he's been 33 actually. Loves how he's been running the ball, and Auburn, he's had 13 rushes for 103 yards and 1 touchdown, and is 11 and 17 for 108 yards passing. So both he's over 100 yards in both passing and rushing. I don't know how long it's been since that's happened, but I bet it's been a while for an Auburn quarterback. And there's
Jackson Arnold again with a short run.
Powerful run. Powerful. Gets the first down. He needs to take it easy on those. He's going to get banged up towards the end of the season if he keeps it up. So Auburn needs to keep him healthy as much as possible. But great job for Arnold.
And a big thing here, Auburn's moving the ball, but we got 6.5 minutes left in this ball game, so that's big too when you look at the clock. As there's Jeremiah Cobb with a short 3-yard carry for Auburn. But Auburn, like I said, they're continuing to move this clock, which this is big.
Yeah, and if Auburn gets a field goal right here, it's a big step for this game to be over. But a touchdown would be really nice because it's easier to secure the win. But as this is 9 plays, 42 yards, 5 minutes and 50 seconds taken off the clock, and Arnold is trying to slow it down and about to snap it, and there he goes, handing it off to Jeremiah Cobb again for a 4 or 5 yard gain. Now it's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, somewhere in there, and we'll see what happens here. And looks like Jeremiah Cobb is now shooken up a little bit going out of the game.
Yeah, that could be big. That's your top 2 running backs. If they
Yeah.
both are anything serious, but it don't look too serious. But
Yeah,
we'll have to wait and see.
Looks like both of them are just slightly shaken up, but something to monitor. So looks like Baylor is going to bring pressure, and Auburn's
And
just going
Alston is
to
back in the game.
Yeah, and he's short by a yard, 4th and 1, and I believe Auburn should bring out Alex McPherson and try for the field goal, but it looks like Auburn's not going to. It looks like they're going to go for it. And Cam Coleman's coming out of the game,
Now they
but
took timeout.
timeout. So looks like Auburn should take the field goal here. Alex McPherson, first actual test, and maybe on a long field goal, and could be a game winner field goal. Come down to it, but 4 minutes 40 seconds left. Auburn up by 7, 31-24.
All right, so Auburn and Baylor's going to a commercial break right now. An update on what's going on in Boulder, Colorado. Georgia Tech is driving. 2:15 to go. And it looks like they're going to go to the 2-minute timeout. But they're tied at 20. Haynes King and the Yellow Jackets are driving and trying to get a game-winning drive put together right at this very moment, as they will go to the 2-minute timeout. So that is going to be crucial, as we will see what the Yellow Jackets can do in just a few minutes. We'll see. So some other games across the country. Currently, I have my eye on San Jose State and Central Michigan, which they're showing some replay, so I'm not sure what the score is at the moment.
But yeah, tonight, this Friday night of football has been a great night of football with this Auburn-Baylor matchup and the Colorado Georgia Tech matchup. So a great night of football, and coming back next week, going to be another day of great football. And I believe I saw something earlier today saying that the ACC has 5 different days of college football this past week and going into Sunday. So it's been in a long week of college football. A great week 1 with Boise State getting upset by USF last night. So and then Nebraska pulling off the win against Cincinnati. So great week of college football, and hopes it keeps on going throughout the whole season.
Yep. To give you an update, Central Michigan has a 10-0 lead on San Jose State, as San Jose State is punting the football right now. Another game, UNLV leads Sam Houston 24-7 at the break. So that is some updates on what is going on around the country as we speak, as we continue to be in a commercial break at this moment for Auburn and Baylor. But like we said, like I think it said 5.5 minutes ago, it's a big moment here for Auburn as they got a 4th and 1. 4:40. Okay, so it's 4:40 to go. Dave Aranda is pleading with his team, get the stop.
Auburn needs to go to the field goal right now. And they do not need to go for it. If they go for it and get it, hallelujah. But if they don't get it, this could be a terrible, terrible downside. I don't know if Alex McPherson isn't feeling up to it, but I would kick it. But this is our Auburn's first 4th down conversion going for first time trying, and this could
And
be
Arnold's got it. Arnold's going to the end zone. He's got a touchdown.
Touchdown,
4th and 1,
Auburn
and Auburn's going to score.
right in. And that should be the walk-off touchdown for tonight. Great game with the hand celebration. Fly, Eagle, fly.
And I mean, wow. Baylor's defense, I mean, not like you haven't seen this all night. How are they not prepared for a quarterback run? Just crazy. Jackson Arnold's 2nd touchdown of the night when he's running, and McPherson puts the extra point up and good. 38-24 Auburn. And my, oh my, Jackson Arnold says goodbye, Baylor.
Yep. Jackson Arnold's been doing it all night, and now I think he has about 130 and more rushing yards. Great game for him. And like I said, he has 100 yards passing and rushing. I wonder how long it is. If somebody could look it up, I would appreciate it and share it with me. But how long it's been since the Auburn player has done that. But it looks like Auburn's going to stay 4-0 in season openers in Texas State. But yeah, Auburn looks like they're going to escape this week with the win, and then the next 2 weeks they should have the wins, with them being against South Alabama and Ball State. Should be some easy wins, and then we have Oklahoma at Oklahoma the 21st, the 20th. So great game to be part of them.
All right, to give you an answer to that question you had, the last Auburn quarterback to have 100 passing yards and 100 rushing yards, Nick Marshall in the 2013 SEC championship game against Missouri. I remember that is the first season I really cared about college football, was in 2013, and Nick Marshall and that Auburn team was something else. That's all I will say.
Yeah, and thank you, Colton, for telling us touchdown Georgia Tech. I don't know how much time is left, but thank you for telling us. Yeah, the crazy season 2013, Auburn with the miracle of Jordan Hare and the kick six, the most iconic play in college football history, in my repertoire, or whatever you want to say. Yeah, great year for Auburn, and crazy Jackson Arnold doing that the first night of being an Auburn Tiger football player in game.
Yeah, my full assessment so far, you can't really overreact to the first game of the season, but what this Auburn offense has done tonight, I mean, it makes them look like a really good team.
Yeah, even though I don't know how Baylor is, but Auburn they look like they can be some problems to some teams, and I think Auburn will go into Texas A&M 4-0. Might not come out. I think they'll probably lose to Texas A&M, be 4-1, then come back and beat Georgia and become 5-1, and end the season 10-2 or 11-1 if they keep up playing like they have and clean up the defensive mistakes and penalties.
Well, we'll see if Baylor has any chance of putting together a comeback in this ball game. But it all comes down to if they can actually drive down the field and score. And then if they do score, can they actually get the ball back?
Yeah, and
So
what's the update on Georgia Tech? I know they got a touchdown, but how much time is left in the game?
okay, minute and 7 seconds there. Georgia Tech up 27-20. Also, crazy stat that I'll tell in just a minute. After this play, as Sawyer Robertson takes the snap, looking to throw, going to throw it, and that's incomplete as that'll go out of bounds. But here's a crazy stat. Georgia Tech has turned the ball over 3 times against Colorado, and they may still beat Colorado.
Yeah, and another crazy
So
stat
I
in
don't
this
know whether
Auburn
that
Baylor.
is an indictment on Colorado.
Yeah, but here's Auburn with a player cramping, it looks like. But a crazy stat for Jackson Arnold 134 yards rushing is his career high. So, crazy night for Jackson Arnold. Hope he can keep it up.
Another update, Caden Salter gets out of bounds 18 seconds as Colorado's trying to drive down and get a touchdown there in Boulder. So
Where are they at?
depending on they got a long way to go. I don't think they're quite at midfield yet. So 18 seconds. I mean, it's not impossible, but they've got a
How
little bit
many
of a
timeouts
challenge
they
as
have?
the game is.
How many timeouts do they have?
They got 2 timeouts. Okay, so
Very
they're at their
possible.
own 39.
Ooh, got to get a long throw back to the 50-yard line, 40-yard line. Quick
Oh, here's a
play.
deep pass. Oh, it's incomplete. Just a little too much for his receiver. Now 8
And that
seconds, though. That's gonna be hard.
got to get a fast pass, out route, get out of bounds with like 2 or 3 seconds left, and then just hope for the Hail Mary pass to make it go into overtime.
And I think that's Morris Williams. It looks like a leg injury, and that does not look good for Auburn.
Yeah, that's he's 6'2", 260 pounds from Fayetteville, North Carolina, but maybe he can be all right and be minimalistic injury. But Baylor out here at 2nd and 10 with 4 minutes and 25 seconds left as Robertson is about to snap the ball.
And that'll be caught for about 6 yards right there. Going to be 3rd and 4 for Baylor. So they're going to let the clock run a little bit. They do have the 2-minute timeout and all 3 of their timeouts right now. So going to be interesting to see what they do okay, Colorado will lose as they cannot get the Hail Mary as there's Sawyer Robertson with the throw, and that'll be a first down and a little bit more as Cole Wilson will get out of bounds for Baylor. So I was calling 2 games at once. Kind of interesting.
Yep, and Sawyer Robertson is 23 of 43 passing for 357 yards. Well, more than that, but 366 it looks like yards with 3 touchdowns. So Auburn. They have went away from passing and stayed with a running game. And Baylor has done the opposite. They went passing instead of running, and it looks like Auburn has virtued from it. But a big turning point was that last touchdown and the touchdown return. But there's a 10-yard play for Baylor moving along with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Yep. And I mean, if you're Baylor, you don't have to necessarily be in. I mean, if you're Auburn, you don't want them to be in a huge rush. As there is tipped up flag, and that, again, could have easily been intercepted. But here we go. Let's see what the flag is.
If that was passing interference, I'm going to be mad because that was clean as it could be. And, oh, man, I'm so mad. Oh, man. Why? Why? Just why? No contact, buddy. Come on.
I'm thinking it may have been the contact on the quarterback, maybe? I don't really know what the...
No, it was
I don't
passing
know.
interference.
None of
But
that.
that was a good play. Should have not been called. If Auburn, if they score a touchdown, I'm going to be mad because they should have. And that should have been incomplete pass. Let it be gone.
Oh, and Washington drops what could have been an easy catch right there, but there's another flag.
But that should
Holding on
be
Baylor.
holding on Baylor. So that will be a 10-yard penalty. So it'll be 1st and 10 with 2 minutes and 43 seconds left in the game. Looks like Auburn probably will survive.
That's 9 penalties for 83 yards for Auburn, 6 for 55 for Baylor. 1st and 20, 2:43 to go. Sawyer Robertson's got a running back to his right, sends a man in motion. And Robertson will take the snap. He's rolling to his right now, throwing. That'll be caught. And this one's going to be a run after catches for Cameron. Cameron dancing around and gets down to about the 16, 17-yard line for Baylor as they are really set up to score now.
Hey. Oh, I had to do it. Colton, what are we talking about right here? Put it in the chat. Yeah, 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. 1st and 10. Baylor moving along, but looks like Hugh Freeze is asking the ref something. A little frustrated at what's going on. But here we go. Baylor about to snap the ball. Sawyer Robertson has a running back to his left with 4 wide receivers out, and he is brought down for a sack. That's a big loss and a big sack for Keldrick Falk, number 15 for Auburn, and projected to be a top 10 NFL draft pick this coming NFL draft.
So here we go, 2nd and 16. Robertson looking, now pitching it forward to Washington. And he will get maybe 2 yards right there, but that's about it.
Got 3 yards right there. Will be 3rd and about 3rd and 13, and that will get us to the 2-minute warning. Baylor has all 3 timeouts. Auburn has 2. Auburn is up by 14 points, 38-24. And if Auburn can hold Baylor here, they have the game in the bag.
Well, let's go to a commercial break, and we will see you on the other side. right,
Here comes Baylor.
38-24 for Auburn.
3rd and 13. Baylor up now, going for the first down with 1 minute 52 seconds left. And Auburn has, they just circled something about on the screen, didn't catch what it was, but here we go. Sorry, Robertson in the back, and that's caught for almost a first down. I think it's 4th and 1, and Baylor, obviously Baylor will go for it probably if it's not a first down, and it's not. It's 4th and 1. So Baylor, of course, has to go for it, and they are trying to hurry it up where they can waste as little time as possible. And here they go, and
That
they
is
throw
a
it.
shot to the end zone.
And it is incomplete. Auburn ball. Game is over. Turnover
Wow.
on downs. Auburn just secured the win 38-24. Baylor won't waste their timeouts. There's no chance. So he almost had it. Looks a lot like the Texas A&M player dropping the ball in the 4th overtime of the Auburn game, Texas A&M game last year. The player that had been making all the plays against Auburn, Michael Triggs, just dropped the chance for Baylor to come back and win the game. Auburn will stay alive. And here's
Well, it was
Auburn.
that was a great game by Auburn.
Yeah, great game by Auburn. Auburn looks like they're going to run the ball with Alston for that's for 5-yard gain as he barreled through a defender. And now it's Auburn's going to run down clock. Wait 1 second. Looks like Baylor actually called a timeout. But a key difference is Auburn was 4 for 9 on 3rd downs, and Baylor was 5 for 15. And Auburn had 301 rush yards. There's nothing they could have. They could not stop Jackson Arnold running the ball. Tough loss for Baylor today. They're going to try to bounce back next week, but it looks like Auburn will probably just nil the game. Will run the ball again because it looks like Baylor's going to try to call timeouts and salvage, but there's no chance. But
As Cobb got very close to the first down right there for Auburn. So, you got a 3rd and 1 right here, and it looks like Baylor will call that timeout.
yeah,
Baylor,
they will.
you got to give Baylor credit, though. Their offense really fought, and they fought. And,
They fought.
Baylor really did play good.
Yeah, Baylor did really good, but Auburn's offense, above and beyond players today, is Jackson Arnold, Demari Austin, and Jeremiah Cobb. All Jackson Arnold with 134 yards rushing 84 for Austin, and 74 for Cobb. A great game for rushing yards, and hopefully it carries into the next few weeks, and this Auburn team could be lethal this year.
Here goes Arnold with a keeper. First down, and he'll just slide down. And now it's pretty much over, as I guess Baylor will take their final timeout. And now they show it again with the whole thing with first Auburn quarterback with 130-plus rushing yards and 2+ rushing touchdowns since 2013, which was Nick Marshall.
And then, but also Nick Marshall, who had 100 passing yards and 100 rushing yards. So Nick Marshall was a great quarterback, and Jackson Arnold could have a chance of being the next Nick Marshall. You never know, but they're about to kneel it out, and there goes the kneel. And Auburn just secured the football game. First win for Auburn, and they go and play ball Ball State next week, and then they have South Alabama. Then they have their first SEC game against Oklahoma September 20th at Oklahoma.
Well, folks, I got to tell you this. If you're Hugh Freeze, this was a good way to get that monkey off your shoulder, potentially with the first win. Now, of course, you got a lot of time. You got to really prove it this season, but a really great start for the Auburn Tigers. Well, folks, thank you, Derek, for coming on. This has been a lot of fun here tonight. And Auburn gets the win. First time that Auburn has been featured on Saber Broadcast Network and they actually win a football game. Go figure. But, folks, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. We'll see you again later. Good night, everybody.